Eons ago, during the age of the Magi, the world was something other. Magic is all that there was and all that was needed. Legend states that a cataclysmic event brought a great frozen age to the world of Lacrin, and soon after, a new era dawned. Though they say the ancient magics of the Magi still lie buried and lost, scattered around the world, lie in wait for those with the courage to wield it to discover. Welcome to the world of Lacrin and the continent of Thelmecia. Noble knights, roaming orcs, mischievous goblins, and idyllic wondrous lands, just waiting to be explored. Now, a new peril aspires to plunge Thelmecia into despair once more, but not before a few unheard-of heroes take their chance at triumph. Welcome to Tablestory, Darkfire.
Hey there, everyone! Yay! It worked. Sorry about that weird little blue ball there. All the cams moved back because we are missing our member. Unfortunately, young John Sandman is not here, and then I moved all the cameras because I have the temporary camera set up for when we're missing somebody, and then just as I was about to go live, I saw that they had moved back. So, GG. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No one cares about that. Hello, welcome to the stream, and welcome to
my sandwich.
Tablestory's Darkfire. Here we are.
Brad has done
flustered
many
me too
shows
much
before, guys.
It's destroyed. That destroyed me completely. I was so ready, and I had this like weird panic now in the back of my head that they're about to switch back.
I feel like you say that every time.
Tiger didn't even have to talk about any hard dicks or anything for you to like lose your focus.
He doesn't need to.
I got like 3 messages about that.
Like, just like we're
I laughed.
My focus is
because of that comment.
rude.
There's a bunch on YouTube too.
Wait, hold on. The comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't even looked at them this week. I've just been that busy. How's the week been for you peeps? What have you been up to, PB?
It was good.
Because I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. I'm sorry.
Even offline, you vanished into the abyssal realm.
I did. Blue Jay came to visit for this weekend, so it was like 4 days of radio silence from me.
Having to deal with the fucking. Did you teach it to speak or anything like that? Or was it just fly around?
It was great. Did a boudoir shoot, which was a lot of fun for me. So that was great. And then watched Murder. Yeah. So we just like watched a whole bunch of murder docs.
Live murders.
Yeah, that too. That happened right after the boudoir shoot.
We watched
got covered in blood. Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. What have you been doing, Wax Steven?
I've been prepping for all the ridiculous amounts of stuff that I've got going on right now, and also playing some Fallout and trying to.
No Gloomhaven?
Huh?
No Gloomhaven?
No Gloomhaven. I'm Gloomhavened out. Like, we played too much Gloomhaven. It was an obscene. We put in like 150 hours in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was insane. Okay. The creators of the game never intended any humans to play the game that much. Like, they just didn't. They're like, all right, this is going to take a year. And we did that in 3 weeks. So, like, come on. I mean, that's too much Gloomhaven. We need to chill out. Kujio has devoted all of his time to building stuff in Atlas. So the time that Kujio was spending in Gloomhaven, he's now spending in Atlas, subdued to Brad's will. I mean, he's a slave labor right now, 100%. He literally told me, like, we wanted to play some board games or whatever the other day, and Kujio was like, I got to build so much stuff for Brad. I'm like, Kujio, you don't have to build stuff for Brad.
Yes, he
okay?
does.
I want you to
Yes, he
understand that.
All right. What other purpose would he have in life if I
He
didn't
was
give him
so
something to
exhausted. He's like, I'm so tired. I gotta
No.
I'm like, no, Kujio,
Yeah.
you need to fucking sleep.
do? No. What were you talking about? No, he doesn't. He needs to do more, if anything. You know, train yourself to be better, Kujio. Okay, working hard will train you to be stronger. Okay, like a Saiyan. All right.
It's like it's the Conan wheel of pain. You know, he just slowly evolves into Arnold Schwarzenegger by building stuff in Atlas for you.
It's what the annoying thing is that my character is so low level now because they've been doing it all for me that when I actually do need to build a thing, I'm like, oh fuck, I can't because they've just been doing the whole thing.
Kujio's actually evolved to laser eyes now in Atlas.
Well, what's fun, Kujio is almost no different to real life because Kujio makes all of our bots and things as well. Because I don't know what the fuck. He's just so good at everything that I need at all times, whether it be in a game or in real life. I'm like, oh man, I need a bot for my channel. Done it. Tablestory needs to have a chat logs thing. Done. You know, he just does it, and I don't know how, and I still to this day don't know where he came from. Genuinely, he just came with my channel, and I don't deserve him, and I have him, and I don't know why. He's just always been there a mod.
Kujio, didn't you come from Bobby's channel? Weren't you a mod on Bobby's channel?
Oh, please.
Isn't that where you came from?
Please, nothing came
Fucking
from
stolen.
Nothing came from Bobby's channel except for maple syrup. Okay, that's all we get from Bobby's channel.
Wait, Bobby made maple syrup?
Bobby is made of maple syrup. Okay, he's like the most Canadian thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You ever seen him?
It's true. He was wearing a toque and like flannel when I first met him.
He's made of maple syrup and flannel. They like a D&D golem, but made a maple syrup dwarven flannel golem. He's lovely and I love him and I miss him. I never see him anymore since he moved to.
Sounds like you moved to
Toronto. No, I did actually. That's true. What you been doing, Tiger?
Wiping off avocado from my shirt.
Oh, why have an avocado?
I was in San Antonio doing the same things, being down there do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where that is, San Antonio.
It's like Texas. It's like middle, like bottom of Texas.
Yeah.
It was really nice there the whole time, though. I got back yesterday, and I think I was hungover for the first time in my adult life.
Yeah.
So I didn't have it. I don't get headaches, but like my
Did
body.
you have to get
was
on a
just
plane as well or anything like that?
I did have to be on a plane.
Did it make you feel sick?
No. I ain't no
No.
bitch like you, Brad.
I didn't say I was gonna feel sick. Okay. I got on a boat and on a plane in one day, upside down, after eating
were you on a fucking
nothing
boat plane?
but eggs.
Was it a boat plane?
Yeah.
Was it a boat plane?
Yeah, the boat was
it
in the
landed in
plane.
the water.
The
It landed in the water.
The boat was on water in the plane, and the plane
Was
was
it
one
water
of those.
boat plane? Is
It
that
was
what
one
you're
of those
saying?
planes that goes into the stratosphere.
Oh yeah,
and
just
so it
goes up.
zero gravity. Okay, and it just kept
Zero
doing
gravity.
it the whole way. And
Comes
I
out,
still, and I
goes
and
in
they,
water space.
They only fed me raw eggs, and I still
Raw eggs.
I wasn't even like slightly sick. I didn't
Not
even
even
feel
slightly?
nauseous. No.
But you did have to poop.
Oh my god, it was everywhere. It was fucking awful. Yeah, it was the worst. They didn't want to land.
What happens when you go into outer space water?
They wanted it to keep going and never return to
They
Earth.
wanted to
It
keep
was
going. They
destroyed.
didn't want to turn around.
No, they wanted to send
You
a thing.
told them you have to shit, and they didn't want to stop for you for
I
a minute,
sh-
just to quick outer space poop.
I shit everywhere, and they were gonna just bail
And it just
out
floated
and let
around
the
like little
thing-
bubbles of poop because of the
They
outer
just
space.
wanted me to fire me off into space so that I never return. It was awful. It was truly awful. Never eat
Wait,
raw
did
eggs
you-
on a boat plane.
Did they kick you out of the thing, and when you were shitting, it was projecting you farther and farther into outer space?
Yeah, that's precisely
Fuck.
how they power those planes.
How'd you get back?
Well, that
Like
is
One
classified
Punch Man.
information because
Used
this
the
is
moon.
all this is all classified. Yeah, this was part of the U.S. space program in 1950s before they even really started announcing it. Before it
You
really
really
went.
are a vampire.
Oh, so
Big
are
time.
you a time traveler?
No,
a
dude.
vampire.
Look at me. I'm old.
You are pretty old.
I mean, I look good for my age, but I'm old.
You do have the salt and pepper, the beard. Yeah.
Oh my god, this bit that looks like it's grey because that light's so bright. People come in there like, you're a ginger, and I'm like, I'm really not. My hair's like relatively dark brown, but the light is so bright in here that it makes my hair look much lighter and my beard look lighter. So this bit here looks great.
I see a lot of people in the chat being upset about our conversation, Brad, and I'm going to go ahead and say we need to make them have more slave labor. So,
yeah, chat. Those people who don't even have verified badges next to their name, scrubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is not your channel. This is Tablestory.
You're taking me down a route. You're taking me down a route I can't come back from.
I was wondering how far I could get Brad to go.
You can't make me attack Tablestory chat. I actually like Tablestory chat. All right. Let's play some D&D then, shall we? We're missing Mr. John Sandman because he's on this weird thing. It's like a boat that's in a plane that goes into the stratosphere. So I don't know. It's really weird. He was going.
You know that they have a Sea World on that fucking plane?
I heard about that. Yeah, he's on an orca, on a boat, in a bowl of water on a plane in the stratosphere.
Why are we still talking about this? Let's play.
Because we're now trying to just wind you two up, and it's worked. So let's jump into the game. Let's play some D&D if y'all ready. I know, really shouldn't. Tune into Tiger right after the stream. Today we're gonna pretty much pick up from where we left off. But last time, you guys previously on 24. Actually, this is 24. I think this is chapter 24. You guys were sort of dealing with the aftermath, the fallout from the suspected blood grip attack on John's farm. John himself and several others were slain, and you guys kind of prepared to potentially have to deal with this sort of dawn fight, but it didn't seem like it was going to happen. You spoke with the Inquisitor, and he kind of revealed that generally you aren't actually under investigation, and that he suspected all along that you were just caught up in stuff that was over your head, and whether you were involved directly with the murders around town or not was pretty much all he needed to work out. And he kind of came to the decision on his own while you guys were doing other things. He did his own investigation and decided that you guys kind of got caught up and in over your heads. He let you guys know that they've been investigating the blood grips and several of the gangs, and they're kind of running wild, and they're also becoming a lot more powerful. And that the Inquisition themselves, being pretty much just investigators that are supposed to investigate things and then deliver that information to the military who work as the town watch and the town guard, they can't do much about it because they don't have a strong arm. Because as soon as they attempt to move on any of these gangs, the gangs are able to use the town's sort of underlying it's like a post-war depression in terms of money. They're able to use that against the military, so they can just pay off the guards who aren't that well paid, because there isn't a lot of gold around. Regardless of how it looks on the outside, Rose Guard is actually kind of crippled in debt after a very long war that they won. But they don't have a lot of money, and there's the slums that are building up outside the city, and there is this kind of crime and these crime syndicates that are running rampant somewhat. On the surface it all looks nice, but really the power is starting to shift quite heavily in the favor of a lot of these crime syndicates. So essentially he explained that, and you guys left, and I believe Iridir, that you left a little earlier, and you went to the Guild of Knowledge to look into the name, the Kalius name, to see if the gnomes that work there can find any information on anyone that might live or have lived in Rosegard, or might have any connections to the name Kalius. You also requested that they give you some information on the blood grips. 19 Drift and Rin went with the other adventuring group, the Wild Wander adventuring group, and headed back into town. I think you were headed for the Ironwell Inn. So
Yes.
that's where we pick up. But first, I have a hardish retcon that I realized when I was doing all this Guild of Knowledge stuff.
This is our first retcon.
Yeah. And this is... Wax Steven's going to love this because he's doing a time travel thing. And he's going to realize just how... And I've realized now how awful it is having to deal with time travel. Not that there's any time travel in this, but looking at timelines and stuff. I was looking over the timelines of my stuff and I was like, why have I written this thing? And why did I write that down like that? And why have I said this like 3 times? I've mentioned a couple times that the war was over 13 years ago. I don't know why I've been saying that. That is not true. I think when I wrote the stuff for the monument in the town, I wrote that it was delivered 13 years ago. And so I've just been saying that and it wasn't. It was in my notes, and because I've been switching between these 2 notes, I had a whole set of separate notes for Roseguard and the actual campaign notes that I've been working from, and I kind of just been working from the Roseguard ones because it's kind of hard to plan a lot of stuff that you're going to do in the town. I've just been kind of having to see what you want to do and improvise it. So, just a quick retcon, just because I've mentioned it a couple times and I'm not sure why I wrote it down and then why I began reciting it and kind of believing it as well. It's been 50 years since the end of the war, and I said this all at the beginning, and everyone's
a little bit different.
Everyone's characters were based around it being 50 years. Like, for example, 19 is like 70 years old. I think I wrote on your thing, but he's only been alive for a month, kind of thing. So we have the hard-working gnomes at the Guild of Knowledge to thank for my realization that I've been saying this just wrong timeline as an idea of what the timeline looks like in general. So I'll post a thing in Discord if you want of a general idea of what the timeline looks like in Thelmecia, just to clear it up if I've been confusing people.
Yes, please.
I don't know why I said it was 13 years ago, but it really wasn't. Yeah, you need to, I guess, remember that. So thanks, gnomes of the Guild of Knowledge. It has been 50 years since the end of the war. Ignore every time I've said 13 years, it's just me bumbling through my notes and just lying while thinking of another thing. I think when you first got to Roseguard, I was just super, like, I've been kind of like, there've been a lot of these sessions where I've been a little bit kerfuzzled and just kind of like juggling too many things. So even coming into it, just IRL, just doing too many things. I do about 1,000 things a day, and then I come into this at the end of the day, and it's really late, and my brain is very fuzzy a lot of the time. And I just noticed it, and I was like, why did I write this? And I was like sitting there like, why do I have 2 timelines running now? And then I was like, I've said it about 400 times that it's...
Well, now 500.
13, yeah.
502.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has been 50 years since the end of the war, and that is why there is such a thing. I also in the fucking intro video, the proper one, it says that it was 50 years ago, but
So eons ago is really like 1 generation ago.
No, eons ago is referencing the time of the Magi.
I'm just giving you shit, Bradley.
Eons ago. 13 years ago was just 13 years ago. So slightly hard.
Eons is 50
it's
years.
Like it's kind of a hard retcon, but it's also just a like, hang on, just like a Windows rollback to just like, I said at the beginning it was 50 years ago, and then
what
I just said
Brad,
this other thing.
Is we'll just say only the first 5 people that comment on the YouTube video for this one are actually able to complain about this situation. Just the first 5. Anything beyond that gets deleted.
Yeah, and and then give me those 5 addresses to those people, and we'll remove any history of this. We'll retcon it in real life. Okay. So, yeah, the weird sort of retcon there. Let me just attack my dog. Does anybody want me to kill a dog?
Just let me kiss your dog.
Yeah, please.
Winding me up.
He
He thinks I'm talking to him all the time. He always thinks I'm just like calling him over and stuff, but I'm talking to a fucking screen. He's like, what do you want, man? All right, I'll tell you what, you can sit on my lap, but you are very distracting and annoying.
But you're so goddamn cute.
This has been possibly the worst intro of all of them so far. Let us begin. Let us begin. First of all,
Emma, quick, get Brad a G Fuel.
Yeah, please. Emma, please.
Please help us, Emma.
You're our only hope.
You are our only hope. So, anybody here have any pressing matters that they wanted to attend to as we return to Rosegard? So, remember, you guys are split in the sense that Iridir is not with you. I would say you guys are either, I mean, it's up to you if you had anything you specifically wanted to do, or we can fast forward you to wherever you want to be in the game. Basically, I just want to know what you guys want to do. I mean, I've got an idea of where you are, unless you want to have gone and done something else, because I can happily treat between sessions at these pinnacle points as kind of downtime if you want as well. Like mini downtime, not like the 6 months
Still
downtime.
early, right? It's still only like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Super early in the morning, yeah. Probably about 8.
Okay.
People are still shifting.
That's super early. It's great.
It's super early for me. Shifting north. Everyone is shifting north again because of the second day of the festival has begun, which is the archery tournament, and it's basically the same thing as you experienced yesterday in game. With the melee contest, but the archery contest takes place today. So the town's kind of busy, but everyone's moving in the same direction. It's not busy in the same sense as it was previously when you guys first came here, and it was just kind of a hustle bustle. For the most part, most of the people that live here and most of the people visiting head northwards. What do you guys want to do? Who's doing what? Anyone doing? Does anyone want anything specific to happen, or do you want me to just put you in the Ironwell Inn?
Yeah. I might just do sort of my own sort of sightseeing around town, just to kind of cool my head. I feel like that's what I would do. I might go visit that theater.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, it was G Fuel, trust me. That's what I was drinking. Okay, yeah, you can head around town. Just wandering?
I'm just kind of wandering. I'm trying to cool my head, you know? And I had a bunch of time to kill from the Guild of Knowledge, so I'm probably wandering around a bit and checking out the sights and whatnot.
Yeah, give me a random D20 here.
Okay.
I also need some dice.
12.
You start wandering around town, and on a 12, you wander around the town. Yeah. Hey, 1 to 20 was just wander around town. I was just making you roll for no reason. No plan.
I don't think so. I might like wander around a little bit, and if I stop at like a tourist sort of location, I might. And I'm assuming most of the people are gone to the festival. I might like sort of try and find some food, you know, just kind of generally, you know, if you're ever like walking around a city or whatever, you just kind of just meander, you know?
Yeah. Okay. You wander around. I think since you're in the nicer part of town, up by the Guild of Knowledge, and you probably head out. We'll say you head into the hustle and bustle over here towards the merchant area, since you were kind of thinking about finding somewhere that might sell food or be like a tourist attraction. There's plenty of tourist attractions here. Technically, there are these wonderful monuments, and there's all these great architectural spots that, for the most part, you wouldn't find anywhere else, possibly in the world. Lenadel is famed for its culture, but Rosegard is still a huge city, and it has all of these ridiculous buildings. And you wander past the monument, which you've seen, the kind of enormous two figures that are exchanging goods. You wander past the temple to Lathander, which is this kind of golden, painted golden that you discovered building. There's a lot of people coming and going from that temple because it's generally the type of temple that would be active in the morning, Lathander being the morning lord. And you come to an area where there is two gentlemen which are they're having an argument, but it's not too heated yet. You can just see that one of the gentlemen is pointing at something on the ground and the other gentleman is kind of backing off from him. As you get a little closer, you can hear their voices. These two humans, one a little older than the other, maybe both of them in their 40s. As they're pointing, you see that one of them keeps pointing at this what looks like a hip flask on the ground. He says, "You threw that at me. I saw you throw it." No. Why would I throw that at you? It doesn't even belong to me. It does belong to you, and I saw you throw it. Now, why'd you throw it at me? Trust me, I didn't. Okay? Yeah, just let me go on. Let me go on my way, yeah? I'm trying to get to the festival. I'm gonna take that. And he starts to lean down to pick up the flask. As soon as he picks up the flask, you see him kind of fall slack. His eyes kind of glaze over. The gentleman that was arguing with him kind of looked smaller, slightly younger, moves in quickly and starts to take money from his coin purse. And you witness all of this kind of just off a road. A couple of people see it, but they kind of move on. They don't seem to be bothered.
Can I tell if the man is still breathing?
You can give me a medicine or maybe even an insight check. Yeah, for
50.
sure. You can give me an Arcana check as well if you want. I feel like you'd probably have an idea. Oh, all right, no, you don't know. You don't know what's going on then. But he's alive. He just falls slack, like he's acting almost. Just but his eyes glaze over very quickly. His arms hang limp at his side, but he's still standing. And the other guy just starts rifling through his pockets and pulling coins out. And you see him lift a coin purse off of him.
Okay. So as he's sort of like lifting the coins and whatnot off of this guy, I'm going to try and sort of, after I see like him almost get finished, I'm going to casually bump into him, the guy that's lifting the coins, and try and snatch them back.
Ooh. All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
17.
It's pretty perfect. You bump into the guy, and he seems even more alarmed.
I'm so sorry.
Careful where you're fucking going, all right?
I know. I'm such a klutz.
Yeah, I'm
I
busy.
really apologize.
All right, on you go.
You have to understand this festival going on. I'm fairly new to the city. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day to you. Yeah, come on.
And I do one of these things where I just like put it around behind my back and I just like place it down next to the guy that he just robbed it from.
You see, like, the guy starts to, like, kind of, like, shake his, the other guy. He said, "Oh, too much to drink you've had. Too much to drink." And he starts to push him gently down. And the guy kind of pushed against the wall, begins to slide down the wall, and he puts him down. And then he takes the flask off of him, puts it in his pocket, looks around, and then heads down the alleyway. The guy on the ground just... Oi, where'd he go? Looks down at his side. And
He just tried to rob you.
He did what now?
I said he tried to rob you. There you are.
Checks himself.
It's right. Your coin purse is right there.
Right. What happened?
Well, I swiped it back for you.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's a 25.
Roll me a d5.
5.
He 100% believes everything you say. He's enamored by you as you begin to speak, and he counts through his coin purse. Oh my God. The wife would have killed me, let me tell you. Oh, all right, here, look. He hands you 5 gold coins. Take that. Tell you what, if it weren't for people like you, yeah, this town will go to shit.
Not a problem. But I'll tell you what. Instead of giving me the 5 coins, why don't you give your wife something nice?
Well, that's what I was going to do with the rest of these coins.
Well, now you can.
All right, you don't want the coins?
No. I'd prefer you get your wife something nice. Do yourself a good deed, and we'll call it even.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm taking the wife to the festival. What? Where'd he go? That little shit. Where'd he go?
Oh, I think he ran off somewhere that way. There's a lot of people around heading to the festival. I don't think you'll really catch him.
Yeah, little fucker. All right then. Well, good day to you, and thanks very much.
No problem. What's your name?
My name? Wallace.
Wallace. That's very. That's a nice name. Yes.
Hey.
Have a good day, Wallace, and make sure you get something nice from your wife. Say it was a gift from yourself. Don't mention me at all.
Right. Yeah. I'm not gonna. You know, it's got to be the 3rd time this week I've been pickpocketed. Although I don't know why I fell asleep. All right. Bye. And he runs off as if he's late, looking up at the sky towards where the sun is. You continue wandering around. I feel like you probably won't find a lot going on today. There is many of the stores and shops and points of interest are closed. You notice that the main road along here, where all of the merchant stalls were packing either side very thickly. For the most part, there isn't any. They appear to have moved, and I think you probably would have worked out that those that can move their stalls have moved them up towards the festival field, and almost nobody here with any wares to sell really has any. There's a handful of them, and there are people who seem to be selling food out of windows and out of carts. Bakers are selling the food, but generally speaking, there isn't a lot going on. It's just a lot of people,
of course,
moving north.
I'm going to I'm going to try and find like a little hole in the wall place to eat that might be open, and just have like a really good breakfast.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, mark off a silver and have, okay. And you probably find like a small, like a small, probably not like a full restaurant, but like a nice place to sit and get tea and a decent cooked breakfast. Some actually some well
eggs
prepared
and sausage and hash browns.
Yeah, a full English basically. Yeah, we probably see like a shot of Iridir in a window, like the classic Parisian kind of shot of him like sat there with a nice big plate full of food, and there's like a serving boy that's pouring you a cup of tea. Here you go, sir. And he flicks a silver, and we sideswipe across town to the other 3. Do you think you would have made it all the way to the Ironwell Inn by now, or were you planning on going anywhere else?
I didn't have plans of going anywhere else.
19?
I don't know if 19 did. I think we were going to go look for Eero, actually.
Just heading to the Ironwell? So I think probably you guys have spent the last little while kind of moving through the town. Heavy, Janfire, Bamanos, and Yalfi were with you for some of it. There was a point where Janfire tells the roguish kids to head towards the festival grounds to a gentleman named Mr. Barnaby, who they came to town with. He's the merchant that they are in charge of guarding the wares for, and he came with them from Sandfoot, and their whole reason for being here was to guard his wares, and so they do that during the day while he's setting up as well. So those two will have gone. Darkfire and Heavy promising to catch up with them, even though they had already agreed last time with you to at least come with you for one drink and discuss things. There's a point during the walk where you notice that Drift is gone. And that's that. He's just gone. You turn around once, he's there. You turn around again, he's gone. He might have ducked down an alleyway, but for now, he appears to have vanished. He's done this once before in the sea, if you'll remember. There was a point where you were heading over from the Ironwell Inn before, and he did a similar thing just after he bought his clothes. And you spend a few minutes looking around, asking Darkfire, and Darkfire sends off the owl to see if he can find Drift, promising that if he can be found, the owl will find him. And then you arrive at the Ironwell Inn. You sit down, presumably with a little bit of breakfast yourself.
Yeah. I think so anyway. That was the plan.
Okay. And a drink. Darkfire sitting down with his own drink. He says he doesn't want any breakfast. And Heavy and 19 do not need breakfast, so I assume they probably just sit down as well. So you probably can find a decent table this time instead of like the smaller tables that you've been sat at almost the entire time. There is nowhere near as many people in here as there normally is, and there is nowhere near as many people moving in and out of the place. For the most part, everybody that's staying here or that would be here or is staying here for the reason of coming to this the festival, and they've left for the day. So you can probably find one of the bigger tables with the comfier seats, maybe somewhere over by the hearth. It's not lit, it's not that cold. But that is where the nicer tables are. So you find like a long table with a nice chair, not just a crap stool with half a leg missing. And you guys can settle down there. And Heavy finds a big chair as well. 19 probably finds a big chair, able to actually support their weight for once instead of it creaking, ready to break under the metals and the composite armor that they wear. Darkfire puts his boots up and begins to drink. Heavy sits silently, sort of peering out through those white eyes.
Before I sit down, I will go check the room and knock on the door and see if Eero's there, because I see that he's not in the main room. And when there's no response on the door, is there a response on the door? Oh my God, don't scare me. There isn't.
There is no response at the door, and there's no.
I scared myself. Welcome to my daily life. That is literally what it's like.
You do a scan of the place. You walk in. It's a lot easier to scan around this place than it normally is because of the lack of patronage at the moment. And you check the little bath area that there is, and you check the room, and there doesn't appear to be any Eero here.
Okay.
And
no sign of Drift either.
No sign of Drift. The two of them are going about whatever business they're going about.
I'm actually really worried about Drift.
And you should be.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay. I will go back to the table then if I can't find Eero. No, Eero's not here. So I don't know if he's going to be coming back here, or I feel like he needed to blow off some steam a bit. But I assume he'd come back. I don't know. What do you want to do, 19?
Where the other ones go? Where the team go? Where's Fire and Heavy? Where are they at?
They're with you.
They're right there. They're at the table.
Turns around, sees him.
Darkfire, the halfling, probably lifts his head up. He's been feeding the dog that he has. He has a very large mastiff that's as tall as him when he stands up. And he's feeding it scraps. It's obediently sort of
What's
sitting.
Its name?
Its name was ridiculous. Hang on.
Wallace?
It was Gromit. It was for sure definitely Gromit. No, his mastiff is named Aperture.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Which you will like because you are a photographer.
Hey! Oh. Where'd they go? Where's Drift?
I don't know. He disappeared on the walk over.
Well, this is great considering I told him that I wanted to have a conversation with everybody.
I know. I'm actually a little worried.
Does he often go missing? Says Darkfire. We got
child.
2. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
our
he's- kids
go missing too. They're usually all right.
He's only done it once before, but it was before he won a huge tournament, and
And why did
Yeah.
you do it then?
I
He
have no idea.
Goes out
actually.
thieving. He doesn't need to thief, does he? He's got loads of money. He win all that gold.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I bet his stupid ass is carrying it with him.
Yeah, he is 100%,
By
and
himself.
probably shaking the hand of everyone who stops him because he's like that.
Well, I've sent the owl to try and find him. If he can be seen, the owl will find him. If not, I can send out the dog, and he's a little better with the nose, but not that great.
Okay, well, if he doesn't come back in a little while, I might go out also.
I mean, didn't he win that whole tournament? He's probably gonna be fine, wouldn't you say? He's not.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he can handle his own. I just
He
worry.
can kill a knight underwater. I think he's gonna be fine in the streets. What's the worst that can happen? Nobody's
yeah,
after
you're
him,
right.
right? They're just after the big lad,
Right,
right?
right.
All right. You gonna eat that? He points
No,
at the food.
I'm not hungry.
All right, now.
I push the
Drags
plate
it
towards
over
him.
and he just starts eating it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good food here. So, what a wonderful day we've had so far. Do you think you're
Where is
gonna
he,
die?
though?
Do you think they're coming after you or not?
No, I don't think they are.
I think we're fine.
What is that? Who is that?
Hmm?
Oh my god.
What's
Oh my god.
what's wrong? 19?
19 turns around. I see someone.
Who do you see? I
I
look.
see
I
someone
look.
from a story I was told one time. Matches the exact description.
What story? What?
Well, there was this time that there was this ring. And there was hobbits, and I think that's a guy named Frodo over there.
The
What?
heck is a hobbit?
I don't
Yeah.
know, but that's what it looks like.
What's a
I'm very
Frodo?
sure. That over there, that must be.
Okay.
Well, just don't look at him.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 20 though. I have to look.
Yeah, you look over to a table. There's nothing there.
What? Actually,
Yeah, there's nothing at the table.
Oh,
There's no such thing
okay,
as a hobbit.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
You don't
Oh.
see that man right there?
No, you do?
19 hunches over.
Wait,
I'm so confused.
19, are you broken? What's happening?
I don't think so. I just... Still there. Okay. Anyways, Heavy!
Wait, are you 19?
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Are you playing a joke?
No.
You sure? The very large form of Heavy is staring at the same spot. His eyes are as wide as they can be.
You
What?
see it?
Yes, I see somebody sat there.
What is it?
Okay.
Is it a ghost?
19. Roll me a d20.
Can I roll my really fancy new $100 set of dice that I bought?
Oh my god,
What the
fucking
fuck?
Why would you
mammoth
spend $100
tusk.
on dice tag?
What?
Guys, they're fucking-
Yeah, like
I've
show
been
me.
looking at them
These
for
guys
4
better be
years.
made
I've been
with
looking at
gold.
them for 4 years.
Are they
All
made
right.
of solid gold?
They spark
They
you
are
leave them
Indian
alone.
rosewood granite, and I got a
Oh,
6.
okay. Yep, I feel that. That looks
crusted
that.
bread.
Can I see? Can you show us?
Yeah,
Show the class.
they're. I don't know.
Oh,
if
you
it'll-
can
it won't
see
focus.
the $100 bills that are ground up to make that shit.
It wasn't actually. It was actually $80, but still. But I really did get a 16 if you're okay with it. But I can roll on the screen too if you want me to.
I'll take the 16. I'm gonna roll for Heavy as well. Yeah, what you see sitting at the table is a very small halfling. Not young, just a small, short, thin-looking halfling, and he's reading a book. He doesn't look at you. He doesn't react to you or anything. He's very old looking.
Heavy.
He's very old looking. He doesn't look like Tyrion Lannister. He doesn't look like
Just
Tyrion
imagine that as an
Lannister.
old ass hero.
He looks like he looks like Bilbo, but his eyes are a lot more sunken. He looks like he hasn't eaten for a long time.
Oh.
I've had those up for like the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, this helps me a lot. Thanks
I
very much.
wrote on the map that Brad's got up, the picture of the inn. The guy that looks like he's wearing the Frodo cloak and Tyrion Lannister, the old Tyrion Lannister.
He looks more like Bilbo. There's this guy and this guy.
I didn't even have that shit
Well,
up.
one of them had a little thing that was like on my screen. I had a little arrow that pointed to a guy that said Frodo.
I did that.
Yeah, he did it.
My version!
Wag gives no fucks. If it's his game, he'll go fucking crazy. If it's someone else's, he gives no shits whatsoever. But it helps me a lot. Thanks, Wag Steven. Because 19 and Heavy are staring at an empty table. There's nothing at the table. It doesn't look like anyone's sat there. It doesn't look like anyone's been sat there this morning. And Heavy says,
Do you not see it, Janfire?
see what?
Yeah,
There
what
is
are you talking
some
about?
Body sat there. 19, do you see it?
I do.
Wait,
May
what?
we
Sitting
investigate?
where? Right over there?
Yes.
I get up and I walk over there.
Yeah, you walk
Careful.
over there. Are you like doing anything, or are you just looking?
Yeah, I touch the chair, like here, like sitting here.
Yeah, you start like pointing at the area where this figure is, and your hand just goes straight through them as far as as you're concerned. 19.
Well, yeah,
You
I don't
just
see anything, right?
You see a hand point through this person. It doesn't seem to affect them. They don't look up from their book. They seem like they're just intently reading their book.
Right here. There's
Yes.
nothing here.
There's nothing there. Why are you seeing things? You're playing a trick on us. Hey, I know what they're doing. They're trying to steal our gold. What they do is they make us look over there, and the coin purse is gone. The boys try this. Hey! Stop it!
Okay,
Points.
but why would he do it to me also? Wouldn't it be him and I doing it to you and not your friend and my friend doing it to both of us?
What they playing at? What are you playing at?
Not playing a trick on you, I see somebody there. Your hand is passing through him. Sir! Excuse me.
And Heavy starts kind of shouting across the room, and there's a couple of people sat further back, and you see them look around. What?
Excuse me, not you.
I sit down at the table. Is there an extra spot at the table that's not the chair that I'm
Yeah.
looking
There's-
at? Okay, I sit down at the table.
There's all these stalls.
Halfling.
Hello. Whoever is sitting here.
You get
Yeah.
nothing. It's
19.
you're just in the
There's
room.
nothing.
You probably feel a little dumb.
I
I'm
do,
going to walk
100%.
over and I am going to go directly to where that person is at, and I'm going to look directly at them, and then I would like to know what they do to respond.
Okay, first of all, give me a perception check or an investigation check.
Okay.
I love you too, Wack.
26 with crit.
Woo.
Nice. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
I did. Never mind. I already took. I just was checking something out.
Oh, you were gonna take the thing.
Yeah, but I already
Um,
took it in perception.
Yeah.
take it twice.
So as you walk closer to him, he you see what he's reading. You see the book he's reading. And you notice that it is a book known as the Gates of One by Leotholdus Drake and Reginald Tallis. That is the first thing you see on a natural 26.
What was who were the creators? It was
It's in
I
there in
can
the
just
chat.
copy and paste that, so you just put it in.
And he's about halfway through. And as you approach him, you see that he's got all these. He's super old and super thin looking, and he's got all of these these odd-looking clothes on. Like, he looks like he's not from around here as well. You come from Rosegard, and you've been in and around Rosegard enough to know generally what the fashion is like here, and it's relatively bland and standard sort of medieval-looking clothing, tunics and such. His clothes seem oddly fashioned. He has like wingtip kind of shirt tunic on, and these flared trousers that come out over these kind of odd-looking boots that point at the end. And as you approach him, did you say something to him?
I don't say anything. I literally just like look down and I want to see what happens when I get close and look directly into this person's eyes.
So you're just like staring at a chair.
It's a little weird because half of Rin is like in him. There's like some crossover, and as you look at the edges of where Rin and him are intertwined somewhat, you notice that there's this kind of green and white, just very barely, these little dots that float upwards from his where they're kind of crossing over. It's a very odd looking thing, and they just look like they're molded into each other. It doesn't look like he's see-through or she's doing anything. They just look, it's really weird to see your eyes as they kind of look like they're fused. But there is a small little trickle or these kind of little small sparks of green and white that are coming off of him that you would recognize as similar to the green and white kind of magic that comes off of you when you're injured, in the same way that these people bleed. You bleed this arcane energy, and that is for sure the same looking stuff.
Okay, I realize that you are
like
learning how to
sparks and fire.
joke, 19, but this is not
You
it.
need to move, Rin, please.
Oh, sure. Don't need to ask me again. I stand up and I walk back over to the other table.
What are you doing here?
The
Who are you?
figure snaps his head up, looking at you wide-eyed, and you see how sunken his eyes are. And for halflings are relatively plump naturally, and you can see his bones under his skin. The clothes look a little too large for him. They're hanging off of his skin, and he opens his eyes wide as soon as you speak. Like, he jumps, he looks up at you, and just he opens his mouth and says, "Do not walk into the mirror." And then he is gone. Vanishes.
Man, you can't tell a person like me as Tiger Rider Andrew to not walk into a mirror in D&D, regardless of what kind of character I'm playing, Brad.
Okay.
Come on.
Sorry.
Fuck.
What?
He is
Did
gone.
you hear that, Heavy?
Heavy is standing up, and he's standing in his chair. He says,
No, I saw his head snap upwards as you spoke to him, and then he was gone. Was it a specter?
He said, do not look. And well, he said, do not go into the mirror. Which mirror is he speaking of?
May I roll either perception or insight for the books that I was reading? Do I recognize this phrase at all?
you can roll me.
Did you speak out loud about a book, by the way, Ren? Or are you speaking out
I
loud?
haven't yet, no.
You can just roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Where did it go? Hello? Oh, there it is. 12?
A 12. You do not recall anything that stands
Okay.
out about a mirror. That doesn't mean necessarily there wasn't anything, but you skimmed these books pretty fast. But yeah, nothing stands out. There wasn't anything really obvious in there about a mirror, for sure. Yeah, 19. Heavy is a little confused. He says,
I did not hear it speak. A ghost. We have dealt with the undead many times now. This one seemed a little odd, but so be it. Perhaps we should leave the dead. Leave that spot. Not disturb it any longer.
It's gone.
Jamfire
not see him.
shoots a look over to the area and then back at you, 19, and then back up to Heavy, and seems oddly quiet.
This is ridiculous.
He was reading a book.
Okay.
I recognized.
Can you explain to me why I would recognize that book, Brad, when you said that?
You don't recognize it. I just gave you the title. You read it on the front.
Oh, okay.
He was reading a book called The Gates of One. I think the authors, if I saw, was the Thaldus Drake and Reginald. What was it? Started with a T. Tallius.
And he spoke to you?
Only one sentence and then he vanished. He said, "Don't go into the mere." Have you heard of this book, Rin?
No.
Give me a deception check.
12.
12. Let's work out what your passive insight is.
My passive insight?
Yeah.
Um,
Your insight is pretty high. It's a 6. So your passive
we're just getting real down.
is
Oh my god. 12.
I would just
Oh,
make it break, probably.
Well, that's a
No,
roll.
he breaks it if
No,
he
you're-
gets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Well, you're not actively checking her.
Yeah, I'm not actually checking or anything like that right now.
Either way, though, I think you beat it. So she seems
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it either. Like, I'm clearly uncomfortable that you asked me and I didn't.
It takes her a
didn't-
moment too long
Yeah.
to respond. Something
Yeah.
seems a little odd. She might just be shaken up
And
from the ghost.
I might make eyes like around the room because you're like across the room shouting if I know this book title. So if you wanna, I don't know if 19 would understand that, but I'm clearly like not right now and not in this room.
Too many lies, Rin. Suppose we can discuss that at another time, though. When all of us are here.
Sure.
Where's Eero?
I don't know.
I also don't see him here. Very hard to have a conversation with the entire group when half of them aren't here.
I'm here.
You are? It's hard to figure out moves when we can't figure out moves.
Well, this breakfast was lovely. We do have work to get to, though, so
Great.
perhaps...
It was nice to meet you. Maybe till next time.
All right. So if
Yeah.
you need our work again, we'll be in town until tomorrow night, but we are going to be leaving as soon as the festival's finished and our man's packed up. So if you need anything else between now and then, it will cost you. And he stands up. And
Heavy?
if you see my owl... Oh, wait, you don't speak to the animals, do you? I'll have
No,
to-
we don't.
If I find your boy, I'll tie a little note to the owl. So check the owl's feet, all right?
Great. Thank
Heavy?
you.
Yes, 19.
Moment of your time before you leave.
Of course.
He moves over to you and but avoids the area where the fucking ghost was.
Maybe we should step outside for a private conversation.
If you wish.
I do.
He just...
Do you mind? Fire, Rin?
yeah, sure. I'm packing my things anyway, so... he
Yeah,
starts putting
it's
things in
fine,
a bag.
19. Do what you want.
Yeah, just hurry up, okay? We're wasting all the bloody morning for what? No gold, he says to you, Rin. Waste of time. You're not paying me
Sorry.
nothing. We wasted all this time and you're not even under attack, okay? I mean, I'm glad I've still got all my fingers and toes, okay? Because you're dealing with these gangsters, but... I mean, this guy.
How
This
bad
guy.
is it?
Is he your leader? Does he run this show?
I
Which one
don't
of you is
know,
in charge?
to be honest with you.
The drunk?
I don't know. It changes every day.
Not the drunk one, surely.
No, not the drunk one. Sort of the drunk one.
The
Sometimes
child.
the drunk one.
Don't tell me it's the child.
But he's not drunk
I
when
mean, he
it
can
is him.
fight, but
It's-
he's a kid.
I mean, he gets what he wants sometimes. I don't know.
You know he's a baby, right? He's a month old.
I know. I know.
They're weird because they got some of these holdovers from their time before, but you don't want to let him off a leash too far, okay?
I have been telling everyone that, believe me.
That's how we got in trouble, okay? We all got in trouble in our youth, okay? But you want to
Do you
keep an
think
eye
they
on him.
actually saw something?
Oh, I don't know. He's weird.
mean,
Heavy's weird.
how-
He always sees these weird things, but
Always sees weird things?
yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, is it? They just...
Well, I don't know. 19's never seen weird things before.
Really? Well, Heavy's
No,
always
he's
talking
never
about
seen
how
something that wasn't there.
he closes his eyes and he has these big flashbacks, remembers everything from his past.
Oh, that's. Do you think they saw something from their past just now?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, then they both have to be here, wouldn't they? At some point. That means they were friends before. Ooh, it's weird.
That
Don't
is
like
weird.
it. They're like amnesiacs. You ever met one of them?
No.
Ah, yeah. Don't worry about them. How old are you?
Old.
You don't look too old.
200. Sorry?
You don't look too old. Can
Oh.
never tell, though.
Well, I didn't spend a lot of time out and about, so I still feel kind of young, to be honest.
All right. Well, best be off
Sorry
then.
for wasting your time. Yep. Have a good
thanks
one.
for the
luck.
breakfast. You'll be footing that bill, right?
Yep, I got it.
All right. Well, we'll see you in Sanford. You ever need Wild Wander Adventuring Group? Buckles up his big backpack. Checks his arrows. All right.
All right.
Come on. Whistles for the dog.
There's nobody else at the table, right?
No one else.
I'm going to walk away without paying the bill. I'm going to go to the room.
Oh, fucking hell. You're just walking casually, or are you actively trying to fucking...
I'm actively just trying to be like, oh, I'm just going to go off to the washroom.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to head to the room.
Yeah, the halfling at the bar is paying no mind to you whatsoever. She's just cleaning
Wonderful.
shit.
Okay.
Outside, Heavy stands and turns to you and says,
Be careful, of course. You mustn't let anybody know of what I told you about our place. We call it home.
I'm going to be forward with you. I'd spoken to only one person about it, but very little, in the sense of I might need to disappear for a little bit, if that makes sense to you.
Of course.
Of course, it was Drift. And of course, he asked questions, but I didn't give him very many details.
Well, again, you will be in severe trouble bringing outsiders to home.
I don't plan to bring anybody there with me when I go.
Good. They can, of course, stay in the nearby towns, but
Where are you going after this?
we shall return to our home, Sanford, to the south.
Where is that?
To the south, a harbour town.
My group is split right now. Today I was hoping to speak with them about some of the issues I think we have as a group. Did you run into issues with your group that you had that was traveling around? Do you still run into issues?
Of course, that is the life for us, is it not? Traveling on the roads out there, it's quite wild. There are many issues, creatures, monsters, adventures. That is our job. We are an adventuring company. And so we are charged with many different tasks, and depending on what it is, comes with its own set of problems quite often. You'll learn as time goes by that each of those problems can be dealt with in a manner that is either diplomatic or more violent, for the most part.
What do you think about the one that's with me now, Rin?
I paid her not much mind. She seems fine. I don't know anything of her, though. Her skills lie in what? She does not look like she fights, or at least with sword and shield.
She does not. With her fists or a whip that was broken at one time.
What's...
Did you feel when you were first... And this is what I wanted to speak with you about. This specifically. When you were first found by people, did you feel like they just thought you were... Did you feel like they just thought you were, I'm looking for a word that maybe I don't know yet.
odd? Different?
Those are two words that could recognize it, but almost stupid. Like you still didn't know anything, like just because you've become to the point where you realize that you are awoken, that you're treated as if you're a child.
Well, in a way we are children, and in a way we are stupid, I suppose. It is very difficult sometimes to read what they expect of us, and I still can't even read, not properly, a few words. I've tried, but it's really not my thing.
John helped me read quite a bit, at least in common. Maybe I could teach you sometime.
I've tried to learn many times. I can't retain the words very well. I'm fine without it. Darkfire is good at reading. We had another that traveled with us. Her name was Noelle. She tried relentlessly to teach me how to read, and though I can speak the words and I can recognize several of them, I can never retain that much knowledge. I tried to read a book once, but I found it rather boring.
What was this harbor you said you're going back to?
We have our headquarters at Sandfoot.
Sandford.
I'll give you the map if you want, the main map. There's down here. So you guys are in Roseguard. It's pretty close. A couple days travel, and just a little south is Velgaro, which is where your Warforged village is, near Quain. So Sandfoot is a tiny little fucking port town that has a little harbor area that you can take boats in and out. That's generally all it's really known for. Not much going on there at all. Just a trade hub, tiny little trade hub.
Heavy. In your travels that you've had, have you run into anything that has completely made you feel like it's evil? Did you hear about what happened in Drit?
Not sure. Drit.
Have you ever heard of a fire that bleeds a very dark purple?
I have not.
I need to talk to the rest of my group, and I need to figure out what our next step is.
Do you have work? Perhaps you should take a quest. That is how we earn our money and earn our keep. And with a skilled group, you can usually find a way to earn money. Taking on any quests, there are often notice boards and quest boards.
Sadly, we've already got one we're supposed to be working on.
Yes, of course.
Sadly, though, we don't know how exactly to start it, if that makes sense.
Yes, that can often be a problem. We are often faced with this ourselves. There isn't really one of us with brains. So often we get a little lost. Often we find that asking around, sourcing knowledge from others who are more well-versed in certain subjects. Perhaps I can help. What is your quest?
As he's saying that, I would like to roll a perception check to look all around me to see if I would see Drift walking around, or Eero walking around, or anybody I recognize walking around that is a part of this group, or anything along those lines, which is the two people I just spoke of. Is that okay?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
15.
You turn around. You don't see Eero. You don't see Drift. You see Rin casually walking away from the table, and you see the...
Oh, I thought they went outside to talk.
Yeah, he's looking in.
Oh, okay.
And you see Darkfire is heading out towards you as well, with the Mastiff walking along next to him. But you don't, that's it. You know, there's not really anything going on here. There's no one around. There's a couple of people in this bar, people milling around doing their thing. A few stragglers heading up towards the festival.
Will you be where you were still until tomorrow morning?
Yes, we will be here until tomorrow night, the end of the tournaments, and then we will set out and return to Sandfoot. Complete our quest.
I'll probably seek you out before nightfall.
Yes, we are staying at the small pub on the other side of town, although we have spent a decent amount of time in the festival fields with Mr. Barnaby.
Who?
The gentleman, he is a trinket merchant. He sells little knickknacks and useless things that I'm not interested in.
Heavy, you've been a great help in my decision-making and where I'm at, and I'm grateful for you telling me about our home, supposedly.
Yes, there are others of our kind who are much younger than me and much more knowledgeable on our kind and much more readily available to sit and talk, and they would have the knowledge that you might seek at home. I am really just an old fighter.
You're more than that, it's obvious. Don't sell yourself short.
I wonder, does your composite plating feel heavy with those upgrades? I've always considered adding things to myself of that nature, but I've always been a little unsure.
I guess you would say it could feel heavy if you were weak.
Yes, I suppose so. I am not that weak, but I am experiencing some strange aches, I suppose they would be. Parts of my
Pain.
body are slowing a little. I wonder if you had experienced it and noticed it with this upgrade. They call me heavy not because I am heavy, but because I fight like a brawler, a beast. They call me Heavy the Beast sometimes.
Is there a flame anywhere around, like a lantern or like anything that's got fire on it, Brad? Or it's like anywhere close, like even within like the block.
There's probably not actually. There's two hearths which are put out, and there's loads of windows. The Ironwell Inn is huge and it's naturally lit because it has a wide open bottom. There's 3 entrance points with these just huge like barn door things that open up, and it's the middle of the day, so there's probably actually not any fire, annoyingly.
Well, just in the last week, I learned about pain, not just in emotions, but also I think what you're speaking of about being aching. I can't handle being around fire for very long. If I get hit with it, it hurts more than anything I've ever felt in my life. So I may not be able to relate with what it is that you're speaking of, but I think I can console with it in the fact that we now, unlike what we once were, feel pain. We understand it. I went through a lot over the course of these last weeks. And these last few days have been very trying for me. But, nonetheless, I have things I must do. You asked of my quest. I cannot tell you much, but I can tell you that it has to do with supposedly helping what I think is some kind of god out.
You believe that you have met one of these gods?
I think I have, whether I wanted to or not. Partially saved my life.
I see. And you work for this god now?
I don't know if I'd use the word working. Working usually I feel like is something that you have a choice of. I don't think I have much of a choice.
Kind of raises his arm over his head where the bracer he's wearing is at, to see if he notices it. Puts it back down. Doesn't really bring it up though.
For sure, Heavy does not notice it, you can tell. He doesn't even look at your arm, he's just looking at your face.
I should go back in, and I'm assuming your little one looks over at the dog and the Janfire. Are probably in a hurry because they've made no money. Thank you for your time.
Jamfire and his money. It does have its uses, I will say that. And with your fire problem, I once met an elemental wizard of sorts, and he sold us some rings, and they allowed us to take a significant amount of ice and cold damage without feeling the effects quite as fast. Perhaps you could find a merchant that sells something similar. We sold the rings later because, again, gold has its uses. But perhaps if you find a merchant that sells these trinkets, it might help you with your fire problem. There is always something, someone, or somewhere that you can go that will help you in any quest.
Truth. One more thing before you leave. You saw the same thing I did inside the building. The
Yes.
halfling reading the book.
An oddity, for sure.
Why did we only see that?
See if he fucking knows anything.
Truthfully, I have no idea. I believe sometimes these specters and ghosts and undead types, possibly they don't even know that they are showing themselves to us.
Or perhaps they're trying to tell us something.
Well, you said it spoke to you of a mirror.
It did. It also was reading a book. I think I must seek out this book.
I would be careful with what these things speak to you. I have had interactions before with undead creatures, and for the most part, they often lie. They can't always be trusted. And sometimes they don't know that they're even dead, and sometimes they know full well, and they want you to join them.
Good day to you, Heavy. Grateful for
See
you.
you soon.
We will speak again before you leave for home. Because, depending on what we have to do in the city, I may join you.
Good luck with your quest. Come then,
Good luck
Jamfire.
to you.
All right, you're done yapping, have you? And he comes running over. Come on then. We better head up there. Those kids are going to be stealing everything outside that festival grounds if we don't get over there. The two of them head off. A curt nod from Heavy, and the two of them head out. That's probably a good time to go to a little break as these guys work out what the fuck they want to do, as they once again come to the that point where the leaf lands in front of the bug in a bug's life, and they have no idea what the fuck to do. You remember that bit where the leaf lands in front of them and they're all going in a line?
It's been a long time.
They're all going in a line and they just do their thing, and the leaf lands in front of him and he just goes, I don't know what to do. And I go around the leaf and he just can't get his head around it. Let's go to a little break, and everyone make sure to go and tweet at John Sandman.
That shit like 25 years ago or something. Like it's I don't want to think about it.
Did
Never
I
mind.
not mention how old I am? Okay, Mr. Fucking I'm 19. Okay, he's only 19 in real life. He's got that thing that what's that?
1998.
What was that movie? Jack. You ever see that movie Jack? Where he aged really fast. He's just got that. So thanks for watching. We'll return in a few minutes. If you want to head over to our Discord and have a little chat with some of the people over there. Everyone is always using the Discord to discuss all their little theories about what the fuck is going on. And now you have a weird little halfling ghost thing that said, "Don't step into the mirror," to theory
Don't do
craft
it.
around. Let me know what your theories are in the Discord, and I'll read them later.
And never respond because he can't.
I get scared when I go to respond to some of them, and I'm like, this is just a spoiler. Or I'm like giving too much away. I'm not intelligent enough to be a DM. So I just play all my cards close to my chest instead, and then I don't give anything away by accidentally going, yeah, well, it's not a thing, and then I'm like, oh, now they know it's a thing. All right, see you in a few minutes. We'll be back after the break. Peace out. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the city of Rosegard. And we're gonna jump across town again. Eero's probably wandered off like there now, and he's had a nice little lunch, and he's thought to himself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something now. What do you want to do next, Eero dear? Your belly's full.
So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot where there's not really very many people. And I'm going to cast...
magic missile.
I'm going to cast
Christ.
Disguise Self. That was super
the
weird.
most demonic
and
shit I've ever heard in my life. God damn.
I'm going to cast Disguise Self, and I'm going to make myself look like a sort of scraggly-looking dwarf.
A scraggly-looking dwarf. Okay.
No, you are not.
Yeah,
No!
you do that. Yeah, you now look a foot shorter probably, and a little more stout-looking. Maybe just in some very basic-looking clothing, not the relatively decent fineries that you've been wearing. Nice big bushy beard. What is your hair color as a dwarf?
As a dwarf, probably like a brown. We'll say a brown.
Okay. I'm actually gonna have to make some notes, and I'm gonna use a pen and paper. This is the only time I ever use a pen and paper is when I need to write down the color of a dwarf's beard. Okay. And what would you like to do? Where would you like to go? What the hell's going on?
I'm going to head to the area around the inn where we met Telchil Bloodgrip.
Okay. Absolutely. So you head on over to the front, and a lot of people are moving through this area. Along the main road here, there is a small, like a low wall that runs all the way along the riverfront, and along the other side of it, there's a lot of warehouses, and there every now and then it'll be punctuated with a store or a rundown-looking kind of pub, and I think it's about 3 or 4 doors down from where the Telchil Bloodgrip Armory is where this pub is, and you distinctly remember the smell, and as you approach again, that smell kicks up in this area. The place where you are is suspiciously empty here. Give me a perception check as you approach, because I assume you're not just fucking...
Yeah, I'm kind of meandering my
up.
way around. I probably am trying to look like a little bit drunk as I'm sort of wandering around. Perception. That's a 6.
So, you approach the area where this bar is, and there was loads and loads and loads and loads of people, and then suddenly there is no people. You do notice, however, that there is a guard sitting on a wall, very nonchalantly for a guard, and he has the red sash of Rosegard. He's got some heavy armor on, plate mail, and he's sitting on this low wall, maybe about 20 feet away from the entrance to the bar, and you can see that he has pulled a wooden fence across the road, and he's directing people down an alternate route. Essentially, it would be something like kind of down here, and they're going around this way now. Every now and then, he just shouts, "Stop it! You head down there." He turns and looks over towards where you are, and as you approach, he says, "Aye, down that way now. You can't head up here. There's been an accident."
Oh, what kind of accident? I always go this way. Why can't I go this way? What happened?
Give me a performance check for the dwarven accent and
it's a 14.
Just mannerisms and approach. He side-eyes you and he stands up.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I am an actor. I get advantage on these rolls.
Nice. That's that level 4 feat. 15. He stands up and kind of side-eyes you and says, I'm sorry, I did not realize that you were a military personnel.
No, I'm not a military personnel. I was just curious. I go this way all the time. I was just a little...
A lot of people go this way all the time. Keep moving. He points at a couple behind you. Come on, quickly. Head down there. Just take the first right and then down to the left. And then you'll find your way to the bridge. All right, move on.
I'm going to do that sort of like spectator thing where I'm trying to just kind of like look over his shoulder a little bit to see if I can see anything else past him.
Give me another perception check, yeah. It just looks empty. It doesn't look like there's anything there. It just looks like it's completely empty. I think you can probably see as far as the bridge. You can see the traffic moving along the bridge. It looks like, essentially, if you imagine kind of this area, this block, this whole part, there's no one in it, and then suddenly there's traffic again moving out over here. You can probably see at the far end there's another guard, and they've pulled a kind of a wooden board across. And it's just a little bollard thing in the road. It's not a huge thing. It's just there to.
I'm like a little bit frustrated, and I look at him, and I adjust my belt a little bit, but in actuality, I'm sort of taking out a few spell components, and I cast suggestion on him.
What does that do?
I'm going to say to him,
if you told me what was going on here, I think it would encourage me to go the way that you're talking about, and I'd move along a lot faster.
Okay. Let me see here. What do we have?
He's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom save. Going in. 10.
15 is the DC.
So he fails, and then what? He pretty much just does what you say.
He pursues the course of action that I described as to the best of his ability.
What did you suggest? Sorry, specifically.
That he would tell me what was actually going on here, and I would move on a lot faster.
He says. He kind of looks down at you and says, "Right, listen, and I'm only going to tell you because you're a dwarf. We closed the road off. We're expecting some sort of brawl, some sort of fight."
Some sort of fight?
Aye.
Well, that sounds like quite a bit of trouble.
Aye,
do you know who?
Aye, it's Telchel, Blood Grip. You heard of him?
Oh, aye. He's one of the older fella families that are from here, isn't he?
Aye. Yeah, well, yeah, he's had a few lads threaten his life, okay? And he's expecting them to show up today. So, we've taken a coin, we closed the road. That's all there is to it. Alright? And I wouldn't step foot.
What about, his fiancée, Ziggamil? Ziggamil Bittershaper?
Aye, what about her?
Well, is she with the whole lot of them, or what?
Aye, probably. Why wouldn't she be?
Well, I was just a little bit worried. I saw them together, and I wouldn't want them to be separate when all this is happening. And if he,
I don't know. He's gonna keep his lash close if someone's threatening his life. Wouldn't you keep your lash close?
Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for the information, and I'll be on my way. I don't want to keep you any further.
Aye. Right, I'm gonna go back sitting here. Anyways, I wouldn't step foot over that line, okay?
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Can you recommend a nice establishment to continue my drinking pursuits?
Are you looking for a pub?
Of course.
You want a dwarf pub? Or common pub?
Of course.
Nice pub? Shut pub.
Dwarf pub. Dwarf pubs are the only nice pubs.
Are you in the business or you not in the business?
Whatever you recommend.
You're not in the business then. Right, head down that road, all the way down to that temple, okay? And you'll find the demon and dragon.
The demon and dragon.
Aye, such a little place, just a little place. It's nice though. You'll get, sometimes you get families in there, but day like today, they'll be over at festival, so it'd be nice of them to decent brew.
All right, fair enough.
All right, and I'm gonna sort of continue to walk away the way that he suggested.
Yeah, you can. You just head away. He doesn't seem to be that bothered by you at all. You're just another person that keeps asking questions. He's a classic kind of cop look about him. He's just like, yeah, shut up, just fucking go down to the fucking thing. With the suggestion spell over him, you can tell that he was more talkative than he would be. And you're just heading down to the actual pub, or are you going to do something?
No, I was walking around. To the back, and I'm going to sort of try to get out of sight again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Alrighty. I mean, you do that.
Yeah,
you've become invisible.
And then I'm going to head to the pub with Telchill, where the armorer is.
Okay. Let's cut back to the others. At the Ironwell Inn, 19 Rin. Well, 19 and Rin. Now, Rin, where do you go? Because you were the first one to.
I'm at the doorway of where our room is. It's locked, so I'm just waiting for 19 to come back in.
Okay. Yeah. 19, what are you doing?
Making sure I wasn't muted. I would say that after Heavy walks away, I just kind of stand outside for a couple minutes and just kind of thinking my own thoughts for a few minutes.
Can I see that from where I'm standing on the stairs? Like, can I watch them have their conversation or no? I don't remember the inn's layout. Sorry.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Okay.
It's very, very open plan and there's no one in here.
Mm-hmm.
So you see him standing there for a while longer.
Okay.
All you guys are doing? Just standing.
I'm gonna wait for 19 to come back in, but if he doesn't, I will actually leave.
It's Street Fighter standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose your fighter.
Yeah.
While I'd say that while I'm out there thinking after Heavy and Fire walk away, just to kind of give a little insight into 19's brain, because I think it's good for RP because of everything he just went through. The thing about him right now, and I think it's just something good because that way you can kind of get a little feed into his brain for people that are watching and also for the DM. He's in this position where a lot of emotions that he had never felt before have happened in like 2 days' time. He'd been betrayed. He'd been saved. He'd basically found the dead body of someone that he considered like a highly admirable person. So like his thought processes are kind of all over the place because he also
of course
down wants to fucking kill Blood Grip. Like, but he also has come to the decision that he's smartened up with that. Like he understands that he can't just do that. Like it can't happen. So because of that, he's in this big position where right now his mental state is trying to figure out what he should do next for himself, but also trying to figure out what the group should do and trying to help figure out what the group should do, because now we're in a position where we need to figure out what our next step is. So he's trying to figure that out. I just kind of wanted to get a little insight because I feel like this is a little bit of a more difficult episode because John's not here, so we can't really get the whole group together to have that conversation. So I think it's good to kind of toss out just the thought process of what's going on in his head right now.
Okay. So you don't head back in, or you?
He's still out there just kind of thinking before he goes back in.
How long would you say that he would stand out there?
Probably about another 10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of stand around.
Yep.
You see, Rin, you're standing by the stairwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, the halfling appears next to you and says, excuse me.
Yeah.
Your bill.
Oh, yeah. That goes under Iradir's tab. The bard?
Give me a persuasion check. She knows.
Sorry, which one?
Persuasion.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Iro. I love you. 8.
I don't think I saw him at the table. But are you staying in the same room as him?
Yeah, it's this one right here. Just waiting for him to come back because I forgot the key.
Right, yes. I'm going to need the money for the breakfast there.
Fine. How much is it?
It's 2 silver.
Sure. I hand her 2 silver.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay. And then she heads back.
Thank
I walk
you.
in after that.
And then, yeah, you walk in.
Mm-hmm. I don't say anything, though. But I walk up and sit down next to Rin. Or I stand up. I don't really sit down. I can't really fit in those chairs very well.
Okay.
They're not made for the ass that I got her, right, Brad? You need to make Warforged-sized chairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
there aren't any. Goliaths also hate this world. I mean, there are a couple of chairs, actually. But, yeah, what do you do?
The first thing I do is...
I see that no one walked by me that we know, according to 2 people.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Drift just disappearing like that. I think
Makes
I'm gonna
sense.
wait for him.
I'm more concerned. Why did Iro walk away? I didn't know what happened. I was not listening or paying attention. Why did Iro leave?
We were talking about you, actually, and your reaction to what happened this morning. He wants to hurt the Blood Grips today, right now, in a big, outlandish battle, and I told him I didn't think that was a good idea.
Of course.
He kind of distracts from the situation and the conversation about that. He kind of leans in to Rin.
Did you lie to me about knowing what that book was?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because you're shouting it across the room.
Why does it matter?
Because we're not supposed to talk about these. You've been waving it around to anybody who will listen.
But the book.
And it's related.
You know that?
Yes.
For a fact.
Yes.
Well, then could you politely explain it to me?
I have the book. I've read the book. It's related.
Well, enlighten me.
Enlighten you about what? How it's related?
He looks annoyed. He sits there looking at the bar for a second. He doesn't pay any mind to you for a minute.
Why are you lying? Why do you lie? Who are you protecting, and what is the issue? I asked you a common, easy question.
And I answered it.
About the book.
And I answered it.
You did not.
Yes, I did. I said I've read it and it's related. And then you asked me to enlighten you. And I said, how? Would you like me to enlighten you in how it's related? Or what else would you like me to enlighten you about?
I would like you to stop being pompous about this and tell me about what this is about.
You know
if
what?
If you know something that we don't know, then why don't you explain it?
I realize that you have had a hard day, but I'm the only one sitting here next to you.
You're right, you are. Which just gives you even more reason to enlighten me.
It's not my job to take care of you,
I don't need you to.
but I'm still here.
I am not asking you to take care of me, and I feel like you are dodging the question.
I'm not dodging any question.
Then just tell me what the book is about.
I look around. Is there anybody watching us right now?
Give me a perception check.
That's Tyrion Lannister.
8.
No.
8.
There's like really no one in here, considering how busy it normally is. The halfling doesn't care and is just stood behind the bar. There's a couple of people spattered around, but they just look like kind of old drunkards. You're pretty alone.
Okay, so I think Hasmul is in the gates. I think he was on a plane. I think that's where we were.
What do you mean?
I think that one of the planes that we were in, that the whole area that we were in of fire, is one of the gates of one. I'm lowering my voice, by the way.
And
that's related to what Hasmul asked us to do. I don't feel like it's a good idea to just be talking about it out loud to everyone who will listen.
why don't we go somewhere where no one's listening? It's simple. We don't have to sit here and talk about it.
What?
We have a room.
That is magically imbued.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I sensed it when I walked in the first time, didn't you? There's magic in the room. I don't know.
No, we're not all as smart as you, Rin.
Oh, I wasn't attacking you.
You're not attacking me, and I don't think you have been. But your comments in this moment of this conversation are very...
Because you're being an asshole. Do you know what that means yet?
I do. There you go. Let it out, because you need to. Because something, whatever's going on with you, there's 2 other people in this group, including myself and yours. They're going to want to know and be enlightened about this book as well. And I'm also a little confused about how you didn't see what I saw, considering the fact that apparently what I saw, this man, hobbit, whatever it was reading the book.
That's what made me believe you. I thought you were broken at first. I'm sorry that I
am
didn't
less
see it,
broken than I have ever been right now.
I understand what you're going through.
You do not.
Okay.
He just kind of turns towards the bar.
We can go out and look for Eero and Drift, or we can wait for them here, and we can bicker, or we can put our heads together and try to figure this out, so that when they do come, we can at least have something that we can give to them, so that we can figure out what we're supposed to do about these.
And he shakes his wrist.
I feel like a slave right now again, under this Hasmul.
I understand why that can be upsetting. But I haven't done anything to hurt you.
I don't think that you have. I
and
think
I
you
haven't
are
lied to you.
taking things that I speak of out of perception.
No, I actually think it's the reverse, 19.
I think that you hide things.
done
and I think that that's all I have to say about it.
19 has been to make sure that you are in benefit.
How so is that?
Everything I've done is to try to make sure that you don't get manipulated, or that you see the world the way you want to see the world as a newborn, whatever you are.
And you don't think I'm grateful for that?
I don't care if you're grateful or not. I don't
That's
do
no
it
problem.
for gratitude.
What do you care about, Rin?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
He goes back to looking forward. Doesn't say anything.
You say that you trust my judgment or that you respect my judgment, but then everything you do is contrary.
Because you're hiding something.
What am I hiding?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? You're hiding it.
What gives you an idea that I'm hiding anything?
If there's something I've learned from you, I've learned that you have been right about things. You were right about Telchel Blood Grip. You were right about that entire situation. And I'm sorry, whether I need to say it or not, that I did not listen to you.
You don't have to listen to me. I'm not your keeper. I'm not here to take care of you. You can make your own decisions. I was just giving you advice, and that's really important.
And I did not take it. And
That's fine. I'm glad. Learn, do whatever you want to do. But what bothers me about what happened is that you didn't listen, and then you said that you appreciated my advice, and then you turned around and trusted these strangers. Like, who did I just have breakfast with? I don't know who they are, and you're just telling them everything. That makes me uncomfortable. You didn't even ask me how I felt about it. That's not what friends do.
You've been uncomfortable ever since I've met you. I don't know why, but you're...
Because I don't know you, 19.
There's a word for it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. You say you have this book.
Yes, I do.
I'd like to read it.
You can, but not here.
All right. You realize that you have to understand that this isn't about me or you. I'm not coming at you because of any distaste or anything along those lines. But something you have to realize is that we're a bit stuck together. Unless, of course, we want to die by the hands of Hasmol. And the only way, from what I've learned from a great man and others, including you, is how important trust is. If one of us can't trust each other, then how are we to get anything done in the future, especially with...
He kind of eyeballs both their wrists.
We can't do it. Drift has won a huge amount of money. Eero has vanished. You haven't explained to me why Eero vanished.
I told you we had a disagreement. I don't read his mind. What was your disagreement? I told you. He was upset that I didn't want to go after the blood grips, at least not now.
Oh, I agree. Not now. I will have that man's head, though. There's no speaking any words of that. But I've learned that it's obvious it's not going to happen now.
19, but now is not the time to do it, and there are ways to do it. I just don't think it's a good idea to do it when all eyes are watching. There are other ways to get revenge or justice or vengeance or whatever. But I want to make sure it's what you want. Because
I think it's going to take a long time for you to understand what it is exactly what I want, just as much as it's going to take a long time for me to understand exactly what it is that you want.
Well, it's not my job to figure out what you want. It's yours. I just want to make sure you have the ability to do it without anybody telling you what to do.
I just want to make sure that I can fully trust you. I feel like I should be able to.
Except that you don't act like that. And as far as about the book...
good reason.
I haven't been able to tell you. I literally got my hands on the book right before the final thing, and then you went off. You just disappeared during Drift's final fight. I just haven't had the opportunity to talk to you.
Disappeared during Drift's final fight? What do you mean by that?
The tournament.
I was there the entire time.
Well, I didn't see you. And I didn't have the opportunity to talk to you.
You didn't see the dwarf across the way that attacked Eero?
No.
I spotted a dwarf. It was what was his name? The person he was fighting. It was his bard. Eero, I'd overheard him, being Eero, screaming something across the way. There was a motion from the dwarf of, looked a lot like this.
Oh, that means I'm going to kill you. That
Oh,
means
I assumed.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So I made my way over to where Eero was at. The dwarf, of course, showed up. Did a little number on Eero. Eventually, Eero was to get him to the ground, and I threw him over my shoulder and gave him to the guards and said he was a drunk. I was there the whole time. I didn't disappear.
well, I didn't see you, and I haven't had a chance to tell you guys. But it doesn't mean I wasn't going to. Also, I didn't trust these people you had with you.
I understand that you don't trust very many people.
No.
I see that now. I've always seen that. You're very hard to understand, Rin. Your choices are very hard to read, especially for someone like me that is still trying to understand how to be a person.
What choices are hard to read?
Well, you snapped a small thing's neck within the first day of me meeting you.
What about that bothers you?
What about it bothers me?
Yeah.
What about it shouldn't bother me? It wasn't that it bothered me, it's about how easily you did it. It says a lot about you.
Do you remember what I asked the kobold?
I do.
What did I ask him?
Doesn't matter what you asked him.
It does.
What matters is how quick you did it. You have to realize that me being in the position I'm in, trying to understand when people think I'm a child because I've only been, what's the word, awoken or whatever it might be.
Kindled, I think is what they say.
Yes. Just because I've only been kindled for a short period of time doesn't mean I... It doesn't mean I don't... Doesn't mean that I don't understand things. I don't understand everything. I probably never will, like most. I can tell you that I feel like I've grown more in the last 3 days than I've ever grown. Learned. Understood. But I also have instincts, just like any other being that is alive. And I like to go with my gut just as much as any other person would want to go with their gut. We obviously have an issue that we need to deal with, because the issue is bound to us. And if I have to be with people, and I have no choice in the matter, I'd like to... I'd like you to be able to be open with me, just as much as I would want Eero to, just as much as I would want to be to you, just as much as I would want Drift to be with me. Because, again, whatever it is that you and Eero got into it about, which I do not think you're telling me everything about.
Oh, okay.
Eero has been nothing but calm ever since I've met him. I've never seen him go off or be heated or really... Still so many words I don't know. He just walked away from you as you talked.
Pragmatic is what I am and what Eero disagrees with.
Could you explain that?
Yes. It means I look at everything as a big picture and I make determinations on, I don't know, greater good or whether it's worth our time. I snapped the kobold's neck because he said he was going to go back and just continue doing what he was doing, which is robbing and injuring people. To me, it was just...
Have went back and continued doing what you were doing if you were let go of a situation?
No, actually, but I would expect someone to snap my neck. And that's the difference between Eero and I.
Fair enough. Well, we can sit here and discuss all of what it is that my problems or your problems are, or why we feel this way about each other's emotions or feelings. But we have two people that we have no clue where they are at.
And he looks around the room again.
I am really concerned about Drift.
I'm not.
Well, I'm gonna go look for him.
Well, what about Eero?
I'm not so worried about Eero.
Why is that?
Well, Drift just won a tournament and potentially pissed off a lot of people, so I'm worried about him.
Yes, but Hero is also with us. And this is what I'm saying. And getting back to what I was saying. Drift has disappeared, and maybe they're together, for all we know.
They
You
could
also
be,
have
but
to
I won't know
understand-
until I look. I'm not a psychic.
Well, wouldn't you think, though, as well, that didn't you say that Hero wanted to do something about the situation right then and there? We may not know him that well. What if he's stupid enough to do something on his own?
Oh, Eero is wickedly intelligent. He's not foolish enough to do anything stupid.
No, he would never do anything stupid. Can I take a step back from that and try to be realistic with you for a moment?
Sure.
When you gave me advice and I did not listen to it, you were upset, I'm sure, right?
I wasn't, actually. It just threw me a little.
My advice would be that as much as you think Hiro is smart, you should probably look at it in the same way you look at me. I don't know everything. I make choices I shouldn't have made. We're all capable of making choices we shouldn't make. You said Hiro was pretty heated, no?
Yeah, he was really mad at me.
Was he really mad at you? Or was he very, very upset about the situation that he walked into?
He's extremely upset about the situation and projecting it on the fact that I didn't agree with him.
Do we know him well enough to know that he won't do something stupid? I don't.
I don't know, but I'm worried about Drift. If you want to go look for Eero, go look for Eero, but I feel like Eero can handle himself.
I feel like we should not be splitting all of us into 4 different directions.
So are you coming with me? Is that what you're telling me?
I just think that wherever Drift is where he's to be. He wouldn't disappear like that. Not after the conversation me and him had by ourselves. And I mean that.
Which
We
makes
had a
it
very-
even more crazy that he's gone.
Well, it does. But it also makes sense to me.
Okay, so you go look for Eero and I'm going to go look for Drift. I'll meet you back here. I'm sorry. I'm not changing my mind. I'm really worried.
You're very stubborn, Rin.
I am.
Go on now.
I leave.
You staying there, 19?
Yep.
You're just staying there forever? Like, as in...
I
good
don't know
amount of
if I
time?
would say the word forever is the word, but probably gonna sit there and think a little bit again.
Forever is such an English thing.
Mhm.
Mate, you're going to be forever. Okay, so Rin, you head out and you're looking for Drift.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
Where did he disappear from?
You lost him somewhere... probably somewhere around here. Somewhere near this theater district.
Okay, I'll start there then.
All right,
I
you
realize like John's not here, but I think Rin would be very concerned. So
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry,
so
guys.
You can start heading their way. It makes sense.
Okay.
We then flip back to the other side of town. Iridir, you have cast invisibility upon yourself.
Yeah.
And
The disguise self is not a concentration spell either, so I've still got that going underneath the invisibility as well.
okay. And then you start heading towards where this this pub is that
Yeah,
you
the
had
place we
previously
were
been.
at previously with Thelmecia.
Okay, so you probably head up a couple of alleyways, and you probably head to back towards that main road, I would assume, but invisible this time. Give me I guess give me an investigation check, just an int-based check. I guess investigation works.
11.
To try and maneuver these back alleys and like reverse engineer your way through them towards which building you think belongs to this pub, because this pub is like the lower floor of a big building, and it's compacted in with a bunch of others, and it's not it's fully terraced. So you find your way to like a back alleyway, and you walk along until you see an area where there is a couple of empty kegs that have a very obvious kind of branding of some ale somewhere, and you sort of determine that this is probably like a back entrance. There's a very small door, an old kind of wooden looking door. No other obvious entrance ways, but this is probably the back door to this pub, with this trash outside, these couple of barrels that have just been discarded and left. Unless you were trying to get to the front.
I am probably... I think I'm just... If there's a back entrance... I'll probably try and check that out and maybe wait like a little while to see if somebody comes out first, and then just kind of sneak in as the door closes.
Okay. You probably give it maybe 10 minutes sitting in this alleyway, and the door doesn't open.
Okay. Are there any windows or any way to see inside?
There's no windows to this building, but there are windows that are higher up. But you've been in this pub. There weren't any obvious stairs that led upwards. It doesn't mean that necessarily it's not the same thing. But you can see on the floors above that there are small windows. Yeah, one of them, 3 floors up, is open.
Okay. Is there anything around that looks like it might be able to help me get up there?
Everything. There's wash lines that run between the alleyways. There's these kind of like rickety pipes that have been kind of ramshackle placed onto the side of the building. There's the ledges and existing windows that go up to the other side. There's the door frame. It wouldn't necessarily be difficult to climb if you knew how to climb well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely don't. So I'm looking at this, and it's all kind of registering in my brain for like a second. I say, I just kind of shake my head and start to like walk around to the front of the pub area where the stank is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if I can get any sort of indication. I want to try and see inside. That's my goal right now. So I'm going to see whatever vantage point I need to take without taking any great risk, if that's available to me. And if it's not, then I'm going to wait another 10 minutes to see like if the front door opens and I can kind of sneak in that way.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Since you're kind of creeping around.
7.
It's just terrible. I don't know why you're doing this.
All of my perception rolls have been
terrible-
so bad today.
Terrible rolls. Yeah, you kind of make your way back to the more main street. It's a very small street, but it's got door fronts on the front of it, and you maneuver your way around to the entranceway. Do you think you would go? There's only these kind of these back alleys that don't seem to really lead back down to the front, so you'd have to take one of these main roads past one of these guards. Do you think you would go around the left or the right?
Left.
Yeah, you walk back out onto the street, and there's a bunch of people being detoured, and you just walk past this guard. Maybe like cautiously move past, but he's sat on the wall and he is just continuing to direct.
There's a million people there. They're probably making a lot of noise.
You just move round, take your first right, then down to left, and then you're on the bridge, and then you just kind of like and it's weird to be invisible, that most people can't see you, so you just head out. You maneuver back down to the area where the pub is, and this road is completely devoid of people and life. There's nothing down here. All of the doors are closed. A couple of them appear to be doorways that are homes. There's a couple that look like they might be shops that are closed, and that stench hits you as you approach the the front of this pub. The door is closed, and you can look in. There's a window. You look in, and there's no one in there. It looks closed, like it's closed for business.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I've got here. 'Cause I might do something silly. Okay. Okay, I didn't have what I thought I had. Alrighty. So if that's the case, if there's like no easy way and nobody comes out for like 10 more minutes, I'll leave.
Yeah?
Yep.
Back the way you came?
Yeah, whatever looks the easiest. Like if you know, it's a situation where I can go back to where all the people were and just kind of fade in with them, I'll just sort of turn off my invisibility once I'm mingling with the crowd or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, you head back. This whole street does seem to be closed off, and you head back out into the sort of wash of people as they're maneuvering around that detour, and you know, walk a few streets down and then pop into an alleyway, invisibility off, pop back out. Still disguised as the sort of dwarf-looking guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. I probably won't change out of the dwarven sort of disguise until I'm a good ways away from the pub.
Yeah, and you can maneuver away.
Okay. Yeah, I do that.
And where do you go?
They said to come back at night for the Gilded Knowledge. I would probably go back to the Iron Well Inn at this point.
Okay.
I've given myself time to cool off and whatnot.
Yeah. You begin heading back towards the Iron Well Inn. Probably a good thing. I think I know what you were trying to do, and it would have been great if you pulled it off. But if you hadn't pulled it off, you probably would have died. And
I'm glad you didn't die.
Yeah, I was perfectly split during that entire thing.
I'm a smart guy. Like, I'm not gonna be completely stupid about doing something. If I see that there's an opportunity to do something, I will. But if it looks like it's out of my reach, I won't do it.
Would have been dope. Would have been completely dope. But what are you gonna do? Rin. Roll me a d20.
Yes. Did it go?
16.
16.
And roll me a perception check.
25.
25.
What is this universe where Rin is rolling crits and I can get higher than a 7 on a perception?
I can't believe you didn't see any of the things that you could have seen. I'll put it this way. Just a little bit of meta knowledge, just for everyone watching. I feel like during that entire time, apart from once, you didn't look up. That's what happened there.
Don't be gross. What was up?
Rin.
No. Okay, sorry.
You begin looking for Drift. You head back towards the area where you think maybe he disappeared. Again, you were kind of just walking along, and then every now and then you'd notice, and you'd speaking to someone or just in your own thoughts, and then there was just a point where Drift wasn't there.
I'm also looking for specific members, you know, like, do I see people? I'm worried he got taken by
someone.
Yeah.
You pass an alleyway and glance down it, and then double take. Down the alleyway is the half drow that you'd seen
motherfucker
previously, and like as soon as you look down the alleyway, she's just waving at you.
Yeah, I will approach. Is there anyone else in the alleyway with her?
No. She looks completely alone. You give it a good scan. You can keep the thingy, the check that you did. And
Okay.
she walks over to you and says, what an interesting tale that you were telling that fellow back there. You really are quite good at lying.
Do you have him?
Who? Your little friend?
Yes.
No, not yet. You're going to deliver him to us, though. We need to replace old Redcoat.
Yeah, I'll get on that as soon as I can find him. Have you seen him around here?
No, not since he left.
Did you see where he went?
No.
And what are you doing down here?
Oh, I was just following you and you...
Just
saw me.
watching.
Yes. Well, that's my job. To follow you around. Now.
Sounds spicy and fun.
No, it's extremely boring. And why do you keep lying to these people about the books?
Because they're not supposed to know that I have them. You know that.
Oh, well, I thought that you would come up with something. They're... Really, I thought you would have read them by now. Do you think...
I did read most of them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're not... When are you going... What is your next plan?
I don't have one yet. What would you do in my shoes?
Probably go and try and find the rune that you've been looking for all over town. You are following in the footsteps of Bertrand. He was here not too long ago. 5-6 years ago, something like that.
What happened to him?
Oh, well, he's out there causing all sorts of mischief, isn't he? Wait, why don't... What do you
I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
Why don't you know anything? They told me that you know everything and that you have a plan, and that I'm going to follow you around and just check that you're not... I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so am I.
What are you doing here?
I came with this party after the Darkfire. You haven't heard of the Purple Fire that took the town? That's why I came here.
Yes, of course.
Right. Well, I came with this adventuring party. And of course, these.
Right, yes. Okay. Which book didn't you read?
Oh, shit. I don't remember which ones I didn't read. There were 2 I didn't read. Which ones? I read.
History check.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I read the oh, fuck. Yep. Hold on.
You didn't read the book Praeterita, and you didn't read the book The Grand Aeon Seal.
I didn't read Praeterita and the Grand something or other.
Let's see. Actually, she's not that clued up. She says, that's why. Yeah, perhaps you should read the Grand Aeon Seal. You don't need to read Praeterita. Isn't that
right?
book I think that
It's
book's a
just
dummy.
It's just everything we already know, right?
That's a fake book. You can give it to your friends, though.
Okay.
It's just a honey trap. It's designed to draw people who are getting too close.
Why the hell did they give it to me and then tell them not to share it then?
Well, I don't know. They don't trust you, do
Waste
they?
my time. Yeah, I guess not. But they clearly trust you, given you such an important job as following me around.
Yes. Well, of course they would trust me. I've been here forever. So...
You do things weird here.
Yes. Well, it's all been preparation building up to this point.
Well, it's strange. We wouldn't do it like this.
Right, yes. Well, it's a little scattered. Yeah. Kidir doesn't tell me anything. Athena doesn't speak to me much. Yeah, they know that I'll do what they ask me to do, and then I set to it.
And you're okay with that?
Well, I've always had questions, and I know that they're not listening, so that's why I'm questioning you. I thought that you knew other things, that's all. They said that you came from the
Yeah.
Death Singer.
I did.
Right. And you have more tattoos than I do, so... Well, I assumed that you were, quite high up and in charge.
Oh, no, I'm not in charge. Not anymore, anyway.
Right. So I don't understand. How can you be here and not be going down to the rune? You're not, you wouldn't. You're not with Bertrand. So then why are you here?
I'm not with Bertrand. Was Bertrand sent here?
Well, Bertrand was here, yes.
But he's not here anymore.
No, of course not. No, I don't know where he is. He'll be here, though, I'm sure. When Death Singer arrives.
And when is that happening?
I don't know, they just told me that he'll be here eventually.
For the rune?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I doubt he needs the rune. Maybe he needs the rune.
Then what are they coming here for?
What does the rune do?
I don't know yet. Do I need to roll for that?
No.
Okay.
You don't. She says, have you met Athena?
No, but I've heard of her.
Yes, she's rather terrifying. And that's coming from somebody who eats people. Perhaps you should speak to her, or read the book, or... What is that on your arm anyway? What does it do?
I don't actually know that either.
Well then...
To be honest, was in a situation like you, and then something insane happened, and now I'm thrust into a different situation. I didn't do much at Black Point.
Oh, I see. So why don't you say that we do things differently? Do you normally just not do the things that they ask? Just immediately? Because I always get in trouble.
I mean, we have a little bit of free reign, but I mean, for instance, I would be dead. They would have killed me. I was expecting to be dead when he pulled me into the room.
Right, yes. Well, that's why I thought you were pulling rank or something.
Oh, I wasn't pulling rank. I just got lucky, I guess.
And why did they let you go?
I assumed to watch me, see what I know. Clearly, they think I know more than I do, so you can just let them know I don't. I'm just trying to figure it out and stay alive.
Well, they told me that you would most certainly follow in the footsteps of Bertrand, since you're doing exactly what Bertrand did. You came to town, and you read the book, and then go to the rune.
And then he left? Did something horrific happen to him?
Oh, I don't know. I think it does make you go quite crazy. That's what they say. I'm not allowed to go. None of us are.
And where is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Well, thanks for the chat.
About your business, then, I suppose? This has been a rather confusing conversation.
Yeah, for me too.
I thought you outranked Athena herself.
No. God, no. I don't know. Like I said, they do things differently. You're weird.
Yes,
Sorry, not you specifically.
Right. Well,
I mean, the eating people is kind of weird.
Oh, that's just me. And thank you for the gift. It was very tasty.
You're welcome.
Right. I'm going to be reporting back now. You should be very careful with letting those others know everything. They told me to be careful watching you because of them. If
Why?
you're going to be recruiting one of them, then why do you need the other two?
Because they also have the bracers and they are equally as important, and I can't do my job without it, so they should stay safe.
But you said you don't know what the braces do.
I don't, but I know that we are connected by them. So if you want me and the tiefling to continue, you should leave the Warforged and the Bard alone.
Yes, well, we're not allowed to touch them.
Who told you couldn't touch them?
Kidia, and he said that came from Athena.
They told me the opposite.
Ah, yes, well, that was before. Nobody's listening now.
Interesting.
Though, I assume that they'll kill them when they find out whatever it is that you're doing, right? And then you're just
Probably.
going to join us, and then we're going to leave.
I guess that's the plan.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're preparing, of course, to, up and leave soon enough. I assume you're coming with us.
When is that happening?
Well, when
When it
it
Right.
happens. When whatever it is that's going to happen happens.
Okay.
They keep telling me that we're close. Bertrand and the commander, they're out there doing their part. Death Singer's almost ready. You're going to do something, I assume. You're doing your
Right.
part.
Yeah, I'm doing my part, of course.
Do you know where we're
This-
going?
I don't.
Ah.
You know how they are.
Yes. I really only know most of what I know because of listening to you.
Well, you don't have to listen in. If you have any more questions about Black Point,
Hmm.
you can just come and ask me.
Not
Just
really.
don't let them know that I'm willing to talk to you about it, of course.
Yes. Okay, well. Good luck with whatever it is that you're doing.
Thank you. I'm looking for the tiefling. I thought you guys took him, but I'm glad.
No, he wandered off.
That's not the case.
I saw him go, but I didn't think anything of it. You guys always kind of just split up and wander off and do things. They're really not my charge. It doesn't really matter what happens to those, right?
Well, the tiefling,
Right,
we're
useful.
recruiting the tiefling. Yeah, they're useful. So we don't want anything to happen to them.
Okay, well, if I find him,
Right.
I'll... what?
Thank you. Just direct him back to the inn, I guess.
Okay, well, I'm not allowed to speak to him.
I mean, you don't have to speak to him to direct him. Have
No.
something trip, make a sound, get creative. What do you do? That's what you do, right?
Oh, well, usually I just do the rounds of the merchant district and pay off people
You just
who
walk
are-
around and
No, I pay people. I'm just a runner. I'm a messenger. I just take money from us to people who work for us. I don't normally do all this sneaking around. It's been very fun.
what do you know about the blood grips? You've been
Oh.
here longer than me?
Yes, of course. They're just a roguish gang, usually involved in assassinations and thievery.
What do we know about Todril,
I'm sorry, who?
the main blood grip guy?
Oh, well, he's just in charge.
We don't have any dirt on him?
Probably.
Can you find some for me?
I can try. We don't
How
really
much?
involve ourselves with these sort of run-of-the-mill rats. They're all going to be gone soon anyway, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious.
Everyone's going to work for us.
Yeah, eventually.
We'll be
But maybe
like,
some sooner than others. So if you can get me the info,
well, yes, I
I'd
suppose.
appreciate it.
I don't really see the point of converting them.
Well, what else are you going to do? Walk around?
Well, I was going to go back and report and then see what they tell me to do next. But yes, I suppose I can ask them what we know.
That would be helpful information for me. I'm trying to do what they said and avoid trouble with them. So
All right, yes, of course.
any information would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
I walk
Bye.
away.
She heads out the other side of the alleyway.
Idiot. Okay. Okay.
She
Holy shit.
she bounds off.
I
And
am having a fucking panic attack. Okay. Whew. I thought she was gonna kill me. Okay, all right, I'm fine. I'd like to go back to the inn and fucking just sit down at a table and shake for a good God 5 seconds. Oh my God.
Rin, you head back to the inn.
Oh my God.
Iridia, you head back to the inn. 19, you were already at the inn.
Shit.
You guys
Muted tiger.
reconvene around the same time. I feel like Rin, you step in to the pub, and you see 19 as not really moved. He's been sat there in thought, probably. He doesn't eat and drink and stuff, so he's just been doing his thing. And a few moments later, Iridia kind of saunters in himself as well. Iridia, you immediately see the large form of 19 on one side, and Rin on the other. It's probably approaching something like midday now, so that the patronage might be picking up a little as people come in for lunch. The smell of chicken and pheasant starts to push through the inn as people start to order food, and there's a lot more being cooked. But it's still kind of relatively quiet. There's just a few more people starting to filter in with you guys. You all
I'll
sit down at the
probably
table.
like really sort of quietly sit down next to 19.
Yeah.
Hero.
Where did you come from?
Me?
Yes.
Just a couple minutes ago, you were staring off into space. I just needed a minute to sit and quiet, and then you just never spoke, so.
Well, you never came back. Where's Drift? You went to look for him, I say.
No, I couldn't find him, so.
You looked for a long time, didn't you?
Yeah, a bit. I was worried about him.
Well, Eero,
Yes?
I just said hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I've been better. I've also been worse. There's no fire around me. This time.
That's a fair point.
And where did you wander to?
I got some breakfast and I cooled my head a little.
Yes, I heard that you needed to cool your head. You should inform me in that at some point in time.
How about now?
In what way?
I tried to tell 19 we had a disagreement in views, and he doesn't believe me. So could you please just tell him what we disagreed about so that it's out in the air?
I analyzed the possibilities for how we could proceed in our current situation, primarily breaking them down to 3, suggesting that 1, we could do nothing and leave, which was Rin's preferred way to move forward.
Of course.
Option 2, we could proceed to seek revenge against the Blood Grips in a violent means, which I have never been a fan of. And option 3, which is my preferred choice, which was to get the Blood Grips to admit to some of their crimes to the authorities and get them arrested.
Oh, yeah. So stupid, I forgot what you had suggested. That would never work.
Shakes his head.
As far as I can tell, those are really our only options.
I don't disagree.
I've done some thinking, and I had thought of another one, and I don't think we should do it.
Then why? Then why do you bring it up?
Because I think it's important to be forthcoming with the group. about certain things that may involve all of our lives.
I would agree with that heavily, Eero. In fact, I would agree that everybody in this group should feel that way.
I had considered the possibility of reaching out to Ziggamil, the fiancée of Telchul Bloodgrip.
The woman?
The woman that we were initially trying to reach out to for Fort Smasher. Well, that you were trying to reach out to. I considered the possibility that were she to know some of the events that had gone on over the last few days, there is a possibility that she would be willing to help us.
You don't think she knows who she's marrying?
I never like to discount a possibility before I investigate it.
Yeah, but it's probably not likely.
Probably. But, again, we don't know for sure.
Are you at all concerned that maybe she is in love with this Telchul and that maybe she will only cause more problems?
We have met Telchul Bloodgrip. Do you seriously consider for a moment that any woman would fall in love with this man?
Well, we don't know that for sure, so we shouldn't discount the possibility.
I've made my heed with where I feel with the situation, Eero. I can inform you if you'd like. It's not a short conversation, though.
Can I just clarify something first? I didn't want to do nothing and run, Eero.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you want to do? Why don't you clarify?
I'm just saying that sometimes doing something requires time. Getting out of here, out of this city, gives us time to think. And a time to maybe plan a better attack. The Bloodgrips would be expecting something now. I'm not saying that I didn't want to do something or I didn't want to help. I just didn't see how going to the police that are probably almost certainly bought out by the Bloodgrips would help. And I didn't see how confronting them physically would help.
I understand your position, and I don't disagree with your argument. However, based on the current information that we had, if we acted quickly, perhaps there was a chance that there would be some sort of altercation, as you say. However, it is also fresh in the minds of those that are involved. So, it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
If I may?
Of course.
Ultimately, 19. We were worried that we would force you into a certain path, and it's not necessarily fair because you are unaccustomed to many ways of the world, as unfortunately I believe you've learned these last few days.
I have. Well, something I need both of you to understand is that just because I was only literally born yesterday, basically, does not mean that I don't have memories pop up every now and then. It doesn't mean that I don't learn quickly. It doesn't mean that I don't keep up. And it also doesn't mean that I don't have instincts. I say that because, well, I understand what you're saying, I think, Eero, and I am grateful for it, if I may. But the truth is we are without one now, and the decisions we need to make need to start being made together. We can bicker all we want and fight about what the next decision is, or we can go about what we were destined to do, if I dare say, apparently, without a choice, to become a slave again to someone else and do their bidding. Because right now, I sadly think that I was off keister when it comes to making my decisions, and I did, as you said, Eero, learn a lot in the last few days. But whilst learning a lot, I've also thought a lot. I've taken a lot of time today, especially after finding John dead in his own house, on exactly where I feel and sit with everything, including this group. And I do not think that we're all honest with each other. Speaking of honesty, I'd like to go back to a conversation quick, Rin, if you would. The book, please. I'd like to read it.
I told you not here.
I don't care where it's at. I'd like it to have it. I'm going to put it in my chest. I'll take it later. I won't read it here.
I am not pulling it out here. I will give it to you later.
Then I suggest we go to the room. I'll take it there.
It's magic. There's magic in that room. Who knows if people are watching?
You have an excuse for everything.
I'm not. It's fucking common sense. What is wrong with you?
What are you talking about?
I lean over into Eero.
Earlier, I and the other warforged that you had seen for a brief moment, Heavy, had a moment where we saw some halfling or something.
Yes?
Rin
I
couldn't
didn't see it. I couldn't see it.
Nor could anybody else besides me and Heavy.
An illusion.
It seemed that way. I approached it. As I approached it, I saw that it was reading a book.
Don't
book's
say the title.
name.
Don't say the title.
You do not control me, Rin.
Okay, you're right.
As
I
you
don't.
said earlier.
Fucking do what you want. I get up and I leave.
Give me a
Of course.
perception check. Everyone.
Fucking were they in here? Oh my god.
Natural
Yeah.
1 perception rolls today.
16.
And an 11 from 19. Would everyone please give me a dexterity saving throw as well, please?
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
You're right, I will.
11.
5.
I didn't know. 18.
18. Ba-da-da-ba-bap. All right. As you got to stand up, or as you do stand up, let's see, you 16. You are the only person actually that, as you stand up, you're maybe facing the doorway. As 11, 5, 18. Yeah, you and Iridir,
Who's you?
Rin.
Okay.
You stand up, Rin, as the table in front of you explodes. Splinters, cup, fucking shit goes everywhere. Let's see here. 19, Rin, you get hit by a load of shit. It's just debris and 19, you take like a fucking, there's a force that hits you and pushes you one way, and you take 6 points of force damage.
Okay.
Rin, you are the only person that notices this right now, although
Okay.
you'll all notice it immediately. The table explodes, but you already stood up, and you jump somewhat out of the way. A bunch of these splinters hit you. Iridir, maybe a tingle goes off. Something sets you off. Something from maybe being outside and being aware of maybe arcane energy. You feel a crackle.
Away from the
You
table.
a crackle as you just naturally, just instinctually move out of the way. The table explodes. Running at you from the doorway is Drift. He is shrouded in this dark, shadowy energy. He's got his shadow sword out, and he jumps into the air, and he is going to attack you all for sure next week. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Table Stories Darkfire. We'll see you next time for this, whatever the fuck this is.
Fuck yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Some laundry being aired, some more questions,
I'm just gonna go cry.
and then
Drift.
and
They lied to me.
and Drift owes the bar a little bit of coin for Eldritch blasting the table. Thanks so much for joining us.
Holy shit.
We're going to do a couple of shout-outs before we see you next week at the same time in the same place. Let's do a couple of shout-outs. Let's start with Miss Tiger Writer.
Hi.
John!
Oh, he's
I'm
there.
Miss
Did you see
Tiger
the
Rider.
end? Oh. He's in the chat.
I'm
like,
Miss
Here the whole time.
If you have never seen me before today for some reason, because you maybe just started joining, I'm a full-time entertainer on Twitch. I stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Usually start about 3 p.m. PST, sometimes earlier. However, if you're bored after the show tonight and you would like to, I'm going to be doing another stream because I was gone all weekend at PAX South. So I'm kind of catching up a little bit. I got some stuff to do in a game called Atlas where I'm playing on a role-playing server. The role-playing server is pretty intense, actually. I play a character that is a cutthroat, badass, literal shisty pirate. And
It's amazing. Go now.
What was
You
that?
don't have anything to do after this. No, I'm telling them to go watch you and that it's amazing and that they don't have anything better to do. They should
And
be
the world
watching
exploded.
stream.
And then
Yeah.
the world exploded.
The world exploded. Basically, there was a wipe on our server, so I'm role playing it like something ridiculous happened. And so when I get darted, I'm basically bringing him back in tonight. And if you get bored, come out. I have a Twitter. If you want to go follow it or anything like that, you're welcome to. But realistically, thanks for just watching us here. And if you want to check me out, just come fucking check me out. I'm not. What am I? I can't control you. Do what you want.
Oh, you can.
You'll come over and hang out. If you don't, you'll just sit in here and twiddle your thumbs and watch a blank
Who
screen.
do you think he is, Rin? I mean, damn.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, you can.
Savage.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You could
Savage.
control him if you tried. I believe it. Next on our list, John Sandman.
Hi guys, it's John Sandman watching me play Rocket League.
And that's at johnsandman.youtube.twitch.co.uk. Next on our list is Pumpkinberry. Where can people find you?
Hello, I am Pumpkinberry. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry. Surprise. And you can also find me here on Friday nights with the new Masks show, Halcyon Unbound. I play a weird character that I'm really excited about. I'm a shapeshifter.
Yeah, did you turn into a cat dog last time?
Yeah, it was like a mix between a Sphinx and Anubis. It's like, yeah, it was weird.
One fine day with a wolf and a purr, a baby was born and a castle. You remember that? That was the fucking best. There you go, Pumpkinberry. Also, our fourth Tablestory crew member on the USS Tablestory.
Oh, you guys don't. Never mind.
We don't what?
Whatever.
Huh? We don't what? We
Star
don't know what
Trek?
music
Star
is.
Trek.
What the hell's Star Trek? I've never heard of it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
No one's
Fuck
ever
you.
heard of that. Yeah, weird little indie games or whatever they're called. I don't know what that is. Last but not least, Mr. Wax Steven. What's
I'm
going on?
so hipster. I like Star Trek. Fuck you, Brad.
Thanks everybody for watching. I'm Wax Steven, normally the DM or GM of Doom, but today I've played Eero for you.
so
and
well.
I'm really upset that I didn't roll better on the perception rolls because some real crazy shit would have happened.
I'm glad you would have been dead.
I have get out of jail free cards. Okay. I have
Okay.
a few of
All
them.
right. All
I have
right.
a few of them.
All right.
Eero's not going to take any ridiculously stupid chances if he doesn't have some kind of help.
I mean, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But thanks everybody for watching. As always, we appreciate you for hanging out with us. Hopefully, we'll see you on Thursday for Ragtags, and on Friday for Halcyon Unbound. I'm really excited to get that show going. Masks is definitely like one of our favorite systems that we play here on Tablestory for sure. And it's a lot of fun. Plus, I get to see Brad sort of twist in the wind about how I screw up his future character, Poloculus.
Oh my
which is
God.
fantastic.
Yeah, Halcyon Unbound, by the way, I'm changing to The Last Jedi. Okay? The pure character assassination of Poloculus.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Horrified.
But if you guys like what we do here and you want to help support Tablestory, head on over to the Patreon. We're going to have a bunch of content that we're going to put forth this month. I'm going to do some stuff for Talanis for the Spark of Eternity setting that we use. And that show is going to be ending in we've only got 3 episodes left. So if you want to kind of tune in for that, that's on Sundays, and hopefully we'll see you guys there.
Yes, go there. Everything has been shouted out that I would shout out to. So thanks very much for watching and hanging out and stuff. That drow, half drow, by the way, is an NPC that was submitted by Jaguar Inn, and she always has been. So that is an. I don't know if I actually have said that yet, because she was such a sneaky, creepy kind of like secret character. So I wasn't sure. I can't remember if I've shouted that out yet, but I just wanted to make sure I did this time because she's been in it a couple times. I can't remember if I've said her name, so I'm not gonna. But that character is from our submitted NPCs that you can submit on the Patreon. But I would recommend that you submit them to Halcyon Unbound and Crash City, because they just have none. It's crazy. There's none.
Oh no, but all of your pet ones should go here. All of the ones with
Brad has said,
you want to submit
how much
pets
he
to a
loves the
fucking
they're his new favorite thing to go through.
Setting?
You should submit maybe 5 tonight and then 5 tomorrow. You should do that. Brad would love it.
I want to say no, but I also want you to patron us. So sure, fine, whatever. Talking of patron, we'll see what Drift's patron's up to next time. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week when we find out what the fuck. Either that or this lot get absolutely
or Drift kills us.
wrecked.
Yeah.
This is all PB's fault.
I have to see how it
How
goes.
is this my fault?
Because you put these ideas in Brad's head, okay?
I did not.
You did.
How did I do
You
that?
made all of these secret organizations for him to destroy us with.
She did. She made them all.
Look, you can't even.
She made one.
Yeah, I made one.
She made one.
But I didn't want to bail on
And,
Brad in case he wanted to blame it on me, so I shut my mouth.
Yeah, you made one of them. I'll tell you,
Yeah, I
last little nugget of information that I think I've said before, but I was playing Fallout New Vegas when I was building Rose Guard, and they had so when you play that game, all those games, they're all the same, Skyrim and Fallout and all those Bethesda things, where they have gangs and affiliate people. So
Yeah,
you
it's
can
rock, paper, scissors.
You pick one, and then your relationship with them builds, and then you pick another gang, and then that drops, and this, that, the other, and you